God damn.
There it is. There it is, man. I learn something new every time he says that every week, man. So, what is going on, everybody, man? What is going on, everybody, here on your Tuesday morning here for NHP Unscripted, man? Thank you guys so very much for joining us, bro. We got, boy, we 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 got an interesting episode of Unscripted here today because we have the post All In Dynamite to go over. We have that, and we also have the last time was Friday for San Antonio. So that episode of SmackDown was rather boring, except for a couple of things, and we have another Raw on the way to SummerSlam, man. So it should be pretty interesting here. We're going to get into some interesting topics of conversation. Some very questionable decisions on Monday Night Raw. Dynamite as a whole absolutely was just a faceplant of a show. And like I said, some questionable decision on Monday Night Raw. There were some things I did really enjoy about the show. There was a couple things, though, that just... it made me ask myself, why is this happening? So yeah, and then SmackDown. I mean, what the fuck? That's what the fuck is all I can use to describe SmackDown on a weekly basis. But yeah, bro. Other than that, man, that's it was a rather interesting week of weekly wrestling television, man. But like I said, we're gonna get into some interesting conversations here in just a second, man. But if this is your first time watching, guys, you don't know how the show works. Every Monday, every Tuesday at 12 Central, we are on here with NHP Unscripted. You guys are gonna have to give me like a solid year with that one to get used to that one. Every Tuesday we are live here with NHP Unscripted, and every Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news. Now, if you guys did miss this past Friday's episode of the news, that is episode 275, I want to say. You guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every single Friday at 3 p.m. Central with the news. Now, also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can find this beautiful piece of NHP merchandise live on there as we speak, man. So, with that being said, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at Notorious Heels, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show, and as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. Sir K, please tell the people what you're smiling about this evening.
Well, today I am smiling about tomorrow. Tomorrow we buy the tickets for what's going to be September 5th SmackDown All-State Arena, man. I'm excited.
Ooh.
We're finally getting our John Cena retirement tour TV date. At this point, I think that's going to be all we're getting.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, dude. I'm very excited. Excited to see Cena. With September 5th, that's before Clash, right?
So, that will be the SmackDown post-Clash in Paris.
Oh, okay.
So we will be getting the
shouldn't that be
fallout
the draft around?
from the draft. Well, the draft. If
Isn't
they
that like
if
October now or bullshit.
If they do the draft, honestly, it should happen around the September 12th or the September 19th episode of SmackDown.
Well, we'll still get a sloppy episode of television in terms of
Correct.
where's who's who. But other than that, I'm very excited to see Cena. Very excited to probably see Cody in some regard on that show. Probably see, the normal SmackDown people we
Yeah.
usually see. Damian Priest. We
Ugh.
probably get to see Damian Priest, man. So think about that. Get excited for that.
Yay.
And I can tell you who we won't see. Andrade, R-Truth, Mello, and that's who we won't see on SmackDown. But overall, very excited and finally get to see our slice of the John Cena retirement tour. So I'm very excited. Other than that, life's good, family's good. Like Durante always asks, how's everyone doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing in the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, bro. Like you said, I'm scrolling on social media. I want to say it was Sunday night, and I scroll past this post, and it's a poster of everybody that's like on SmackDown, and of course, smack dab in the middle of it is John Cena, and I was just like, I was just gonna scroll past it, thinking nothing of it, and then right before I go to scroll past, I see the Allstate Arena logo, and I'm like, whoa, wait, hold on. And so I see September 5th, All Out, or All Out. Actually, that was the date of All Out 2021, funny enough. But I see, September 5th, SmackDown is coming back to Allstate Arena, and obviously with me seeing Cena smack dab in the middle of the poster, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, hold on, when the fuck did this happen? So obviously I go and do some research, and sure enough, bro, September 5th is the date of the John Cena farewell tour, the farewell stop in the Windy City. So, man, I'm excited. Tickets go on sale. Pre-sale tickets go on sale tomorrow. I think the regular tickets go on sale I want to say Thursday the 25th, I think. So, if you guys are in the Chicago area, you already know I'm getting that whole set, the shirts, the armbands. We'll see at the event about this championship. I'll see how it looks in person, but but hey, man, I'm pumped, bro. I'm pumped. Everybody knows, everybody who's listened to us knows, man. John Cena, he's my goat. That's my childhood hero. So you already know. You already know I gotta be there for the last time in Chicago, man. I'm very excited. He always talked about how Chicago was one of his favorite cities to wrestle in. It does suck that they didn't give us a pay per view. But at least we get one of the, I guess one of the more final, because according to, so we have 14 dates remaining. 11 of those dates are scheduled between now and December. So, and obviously, I'm sure one of them is already, reserved for, the whole little pay per view that he's got going on. So, pretty much what is announced is what's going to be happening. I mean, again, there's three other dates, really two, cuz one of them is going to be that final match in Boston. So there's really only probably about two more dates left to be announced. So a lot of the dates, again, like I said, I think from now until the end of the year there's 11 dates left. Two of which are probably the only ones left that are going to be yet to be announced, man. So keep a lookout for that, guys. Keep a lookout for that, and hopefully he makes a stop near you if he hasn't already. I'm just, again, I'm glad. I'm glad that they were smart enough to actually give Chicago a date, or dates on the farewell tour. I just ask,
Mhm.
please, for the love of God, do not make that farewell tour shirt Bears colors. Please, for the love
Oh,
of
please.
God, you need to do a Bulls themed fucking like cursive, that old Bulls cursive.
Yep.
uh the
Exactly.
last time is now shirt. They have to, bro. They have to. He's got to rock red in
Oh,
Chicago, bro. He has to. Or at least do at least do red and baby blue for the like Chicago, and don't do a white shirt, please. That's my other
please
request.
don't.
Do not do a fucking white shirt, because then I can't wear it at all. Because I just I'm just a big fucking walking sign of anxiety walking around with a white shirt because I just always think I'm gonna fucking spill something on it. I normally don't spill anything like. I normally don't like spill anything on my shirts except for when I'm wearing a white shirt. Something always fucking happens to my shirts when I'm wearing a white shirt. It is the most frustrating thing ever. So, my CM Punk
Mm,
shirt, I should have got two of them, but my CM Punk I was there shirt from, when we went for his return, damn near almost 4 years ago at this point. I wore that motherfucker out maybe once. I wore it out maybe once, and it was too much to handle. I didn't mess it up or anything, but I was just, man, I was walking on eggshells, bro. So, um,
oh yeah. You know, looking back to Survivor Series last time we were when it was in Chicago,
mhm,
a lot of the stuff was Bulls themed.
it
A lot
was.
of like the event related shirts. And you know what they could do for a Bulls themed Cena shirt? They could do the last dances now. That could be a cool ass shirt they could do too.
Ooh,
That would be fire, dude.
God, that
That'd be
would be
real
hard as
fire.
hell, bro. The last
That shit
dance
would
is now. This motherfucker, Sir
that
K, man. We don't know what he means
shit.
by that, but I know what I mean. I know what that means.
Trying to
Um,
hit my last dance.
that would be tough, bro. But actually, you're right, bro, because we did get those long, those red long sleeves me and you got. It's the cursive bulls, themed. I would really love for them to do that, man. I think that would just be tough. I think that would be tough as hell. But again, I'm getting the armbands, I'm getting the shirt. And we'll see at the event. We'll see at the event about that championship, depending on how much it runs. But um or how spontaneous I'm feeling that day. So we'll see, man. We'll see. The last time is indeed now, bro. So buy your merch, and do what you got to do to support the goat, bro, because we're never gonna get another batch of Fruity Pebbles shirts ever again, bro. So this is he's retiring the jorts, so buy him up, bro. Buy him up. I'm excited. I'm actually very excited. If you can't tell. But yeah, dude, I'm pumped. I can't wait to go. And then, like you said, I know it is SmackDown, but if you do look on the positive side, we get to see Malachi back. We get to see Cody. We get to see Jacob Fatu, and bro, we get to see the fire hydrant,
Solo.
JC
Oh
the
yeah.
nerd.
Stacey, the nerd. I forgot about him. But Solo, you get to see.
Solo, yes.
Um,
We maybe even the Wyatt Six. I know they're booked like shit, but I would love to hear that song live in person. I think that'd be pretty dope. Knowing them, they're probably going to give them a video package talking about how they're going to cause disruption and take the souls
mhm.
and dismember fucking the tag division, even though it's already dismembered. But you get the
Triple
point.
H did it himself, but exactly,
Um,
man. But very excited for the show and
for
all
sure.
the stuff around it, Cena related.
And two, we'll be post SummerSlam, bro. So, or we'll even be post Clash in Paris. So, like, what what's the state gonna look like, bro? Is Cena still gonna have the title? Is he still gonna be a heel? You know what I mean? It's interesting. I can't wait to see. But I know again, bro. The last time is indeed now, and I would not miss that for anything. So, you already know. You already know we're gonna be there. So we're gonna get our tickets, man. We're gonna see how much the tickets run. If they're too high, we're gonna buy the tickets resale. Either fucking way, I will be in the Allstate Arena. Zerke will be in the Allstate Arena September 5th. And yeah, quite literally nothing will fucking stop me from being there, bro. So yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, Logan says, oh, That's Durante always asks. I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante? Logan, Bell, everybody in the live chat, and my guys part of the Replay Mafia. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you for bearing with me. As you can tell, I'm very excited about seeing my goat for the last time, bro. So, yeah, that. So Logan says it's dumb that Cena's not coming to Minnesota during his retirement tour. Minnesota's a bigger city too, man, and it is it is a, I mean, you guys are a pretty good wrestling town. So he says, um, the last Raw in Minnesota was April 7th, and it was the Build to Mania, and Cena didn't appear. He says he wanted a last time is now Minnesota shirt. They could have done a really cool Timberwolves neon green and navy blue one. I'll say that would have
Yeah, they
went
could
pretty
have.
hard.
That would have really hard.
Well, like I said, there's like two. I think CVV posted all the dates. I could read them. Let me see. It is Chris Van Vliet. There we go. Okay, yeah, he did. So Newark, New Jersey, August 1st. East Rutherford, New Jersey for SummerSlam. Montreal, Quebec. Oh, that shirt will go fucking tough. That's August 8th. August 22nd, they're gonna be in. He's gonna be in Dublin, Ireland. That should be tough. Lyon, France should be pretty tough. Paris, France, for Clash in Paris. Chicago, Illinois, September 5th. Springfield, Massachusetts, September 15th for Monday Night Raw. Crown Jewel, Perth, October 11th. San Diego, California, Survivor Series, and then the retirement match in September. Oh, he did count that one. Okay, so there's 3 more dates. There is 3 more dates to be announced. I didn't know he added that one in there, but yeah, there is 3 more dates that could be announced in there. So hopefully Minnesota gets a little bit of the rub, because obviously Crown Jewel, I'm pretty sure there'll be one in the build up to Survivor Series, and then maybe 2 in the build up to his retirement match, and that'll be it. But other than that, man, that's it. So New Jersey, Montreal, Ireland, Lyon, Paris, Chicago, Springfield, Massachusetts, Perth, San Diego, and then retirement match, which I'm assuming we all know is going to be in Boston. So that's it. That's it. So there's 3 other ones, but yeah. So hopefully, man, hopefully you guys end up getting one for your sake, man. But I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. But
Not excited.
let's get real excited, because now the time is now. Oh God, it is not Dynamite 300. If you would excuse me, hold on.
Unfortunately, it's not the last
Boom.
time talking about Dynamite.
It is not Dynamite 300. I apologize for the logo. It is regular AEW Dynamite. That might even be actually worse. So, AEW Dynamite. Speaking of Chicago, this is the start of their 4-week residency in the Aragon Ballroom in Arlington Heights. The venue looked pretty cool. It definitely served Tony Storm well.
It did. Her segment looked really fucking cool, and I like the little arena they were in. I thought it was cool.
For sure. So they were over in Arlington Heights. And yeah, man, it was like I said, bro, it was pretty cool, bro. It was pretty cool. Like I said, the ballroom they chose was pretty nice. Like I said, it served Tony Storm very well. But yeah, this is a start to the 4-week residency of
Logan says he heard of we were there. Well, the reason you heard it is because you would never see us, because we would never be seen there.
at Dynamite.
Yeah.
You heard we were there. You know, yeah, yeah, I was there. And going back to John Cena, you just could not see me because I was, me and Sir K were there, man. We were probably just hanging out at that awesome merch table, man. That's probably where we were. man.
It's so great merch table, man, where
We
they sell
we were buying
fucking
yeah, we were buying those little mini AEW flags that they fucking sell. I don't know I, I don't know what you're supposed to do. I don't know what you're supposed to do with a one by I don't know what you're supposed to
one
do with
by
a one
one.
by three AEW flag. But you know, so yeah, we were maybe we were over there buying autographed Luchasaurus figures for $400. So yeah, I don't know.
Grab Luchasaurus figures, $400. Good lord.
Or like God, what else do they sell? Oh, they're replica titles for a grand over at the merch table, man. So maybe. So Sir K, honest question. Going back to the merch table line. In your opinion, at a merch table, what is outrageous for a replica championship?
Wilson is pushing it. I can understand why they would go with 1,000. It's pushing it for me, but basically to me, anything above 1,000 is just doing too much. A replica should be anywhere from like 600 to 800, 900 if it's the real Bushi ones, and then a
Hmm.
commemorative should be like 200 to 400.
Okay.
But what about you?
I was just asking for my own personal reference. Come September 5th. Honestly, I figured we'd have this
Yeah,
conversation on record.
I'm very curious to see how much it'll be because I
So
don't know.
on the
Hmm,
site, on the site, the other last time is now titles are 600.
probably gonna be 800 at the show. Usually
But
they raise the price like 200 at those live shows.
but the only thing is, again, we haven't been to a WWE show in about almost 2 years, so I don't know if prices have changed. But Survivor Series weekend, everything there, all the belts were 600. So that's why I'm maybe, maybe teetering a little bit. I could maybe see them marking it up 700. I could see.
I could see seven. I could
Um,
see seven.
which if that's the case, I'll just fucking wait till they do like a fucking Black Friday sale or some shit. Because all the belts are still up there. The belts aren't really a hot commodity. The belts are more, I guess,
No.
just a sentimental thing. But honestly, if I can get it at the show, I if it's a decent price, we'll see. I just want to get a little reference though. But
Two times. God.
for sure. Um,
'Cause if you gotta get one, I probably gotta get one too. I can't
This
empty handed.
fucking guy. This is the worst part about me. This is the worst part about me and you, bro. It really is. We be pushing each other to
I
buy
gotta
things we probably shouldn't. But the last time
get one.
is the first time. So
Exactly. And I don't have any type of title, man. So I would look depending on what they have.
and
They got
if
some I really like. I'll see.
would you get the Cena belt or would you get a
I
uh,
would get like one of their actual
weekly?
like
Okay,
weekly titles. Yeah.
okay. I
The
would
Cena
probably
ones look sick. But I would definitely want like an actual just replica of like one of like more gold looking ones, a
N-
basic one.
No, for sure. Yeah, I definitely got some plans. Okay, I definitely want to snag the world heavyweight title. I love that title, and eventually the regular spinner belt. Absolutely, at one day, by hook or by crook, will be a part of the collection. So, um, you already know that when I met John Cena when I was a kid, there was this dude in line that was kind enough to let me hold and take pictures with his spinner belt. And I will have the spinner one day, again by hook or by crook, man. So, um, I remember holding it too. It was heavy and it was so beautiful in person, man. It really was. Probably that'll probably be like a Mania purchase whenever we do our WrestleMania, whatever year that may be, because those superstores that they got all the titles and shit. So that's like
Are you gonna
a
get?
uh,
You think you can get the Roman Reigns Tribal Chief
that fucking
Championship?
ugly fucking title, man.
I'm
God,
just looking at these titles now, dude. Did you see that Sol Ruka autographed NXT North American title?
I seen
That
she
is
got a
a current
custom
bid.
one. Hmm.
for $8,500 on the website.
$8,500.
Yeah, because it's like an auction they're doing it with.
Oh my god. Sol Ruka.
Oh, I guess so, man. I fucking guess so.
Good lord.
Triple H.
Yeah, that's quite crazy, man. But yes. Anyways, yeah, Logan, I actually seen that the other day.
I did see that.
Those no
That's a crazy.
wrestler born in the 90s has held the WWE title. That's very
That's
crazy.
crazy.
That is very
That's
crazy.
crazy, man. Wonder who's gonna be the first. Probably Braun Breaker. Probably.
Yeah,
Trying to think
probably.
off the top of my head. Probably Braun.
Yeah, those title they can be expensive in person. We'll just have to wait and see, bro. We'll have
We'll
to wait
see.
and see.
We'll see how it goes in that
Because again,
moment.
they were 600 when we went, and I believe at the time they were 500 on the shop. Um, so I don't know if WWE marked their prices up. If I'm guessing, I'm sure they did. So
Looking
we'll see.
at
We'll
the
see.
website right now,
Uh huh.
all the basic replica titles are all $5.99 now. So they might. So I think they'll be 700 at the show if they usually mark it up 100.
God, I'll have to. I'll have to. I'll have to look. I'll have, I'll I'll have to look. I'll I- I'll have to like look around on like people's like vlogs for like Cena's last time and see if they filmed the merch table at all. Um, from this year because I'm sure, I'm sure it'll be around that whatever it is in their videos, especially if it's like a recenter episode of SmackDown or Raw that he's been at. So we'll see. But anyways, Dynamite. No, all right, let's get the show on the road. Um, the show opens up with a promo from Adam Page. I got to give props to AEW. At fucking least they did that. I was so scared that they were going to continue on with Dynamite as if Adam Page did not beat John Moxley the on the past Sunday, or the past Saturday to win the championship. I'm very proud of them. They opened the show with a promo. Let's start with that.
Very proud. Very proud they opened with a promo. They did advertise it at first, and then they started advertising because people were like, why the fuck is it Hangman, talking on the show? So I think that's what they started to advertise it. But I'm glad they did it, man. Good decision. Yeah, they're probably the only one made that Wednesday night.
Probably. Hangman tells the fans as they're chanting, "You deserve it." He tells the fans they deserve it because they supported a grassroots do-it-yourself promotion. He says fans don't deserve. I'm sorry. Fans deserve. This turn heel on him. He says he says fans he says fans deserve this championship and someone to carry it that has more gratitude for them than they will ever know. He said Saturday he walked into a war of 1,000 wars that have been going on for the past 9 months. He thanks everyone that fought in it. He thanks Orange Cassidy, Switchblade, Cope, The Ops, Bryan Danielson, and Darby Allin. He says he thanks Will Ospreay. He says Will reignited his passion and made me excited all over again for AEW's future. He says if he's the champ, he says he is. He says if he's the champ, he says he is. He says I don't know if he helped for. He says I don't know if he helped for himself, for AEW, or for one small moment he decided to help me. But I also have to say thank you to Swerve Strickland. Thank you. He says All In was a roller coaster weekend for him. He says he shed buckets of blood and a few tears. He says guys like Moxley would say that makes me less of a man, but I have a wife and 2 kids that love me. Millions of people who watch AEW who can respect me. He says if you want to look if you want to look at me tonight, you can, because I am the champion of the fucking world. Yes, he said that, and they They muted him out. Um, this I was shocked nobody interrupted him, man. But just for a just for like just looking at this promo, for what it was very good. And it was great. Again, it was great to hear him speak and actually, again, form a connection with the guy. Shows a little bit of just Adam Page's, again, just shows more of his character work and kind of the evolution of his character from the Adam Page that we knew last year, going into this year. And I liked it. I liked the promo again. It was nice to hear the guy talk. I'm glad they had him talk. And yeah, like I said, it is it was just nice to hear the guy speak, like I said, and just talk a little bit about the war against the Death Riders, and thanked all the guys who've tried to take down the Death Riders. Obviously, all building up to thanking Swerve Strickland. I really enjoyed it, and again, I can't stress how much I'm just glad they had the man talk.
Definitely, man. Good promo. Love Adam Page. He's a great fucking promo. And, nice little, summary of the story that they told. Everyone trying to go for the Death Riders, everybody failing, and everybody helping him to be the one to defeat, the Death Riders, even though they're still around. But that's a whole different problem. But overall, man, loved this promo. Kept it simple. Kept it just nice and simple, man. So I liked it. It was really good. I'm glad, like you said, that we actually got that.
For sure. The next segment, which was a couple segments throughout the night, which I thought were personally, I thought they were pretty hilarious. Um, the Young Bucks pull up to the show, and instead of pulling up in a limousine, they are pulling up in an Uber. They have to Uber. They do not have EVP amenities anymore. They have to pull up in an Uber, and they they pulled up in an Uber, man, and they were having to get their own bags out of the back instead of somebody getting their bags for them, and they were quite embarrassed. They were yelling at the cameraman to stop filming them. As I don't know where this Aragon Ballroom is in Arlington Heights, man, but they dead ass just looked like they got out of the car in some like random ass neighborhood in Arlington Heights. You could see like townhomes in the back. I'm like, where the fuck are they? Or like those like old school type like high rise townhomes. I'm like, where the fuck are they at? And then they walk into the arena. I'm like, where is this arena at? Like
The city damn near. I just looked it up real quick.
what is it?
That is, well, it's like damn near in the mid. Oh wait, it's like super north to the city. It's an uptown. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that does make
That makes a
sense.
lot of sense.
Yeah, no, that for sure makes sense. Yeah, because I was like, well, I was like, I'm like, where are they at? And yeah, like I said, it legitimately looked like they just got out of the car in some random ass like old school type Chicago neighborhood. Like I said, it had like those old school like high rise townhomes in there. So that was funny. That was funny, but yeah, that was that. The next match, the first match on the card, was Kyle Fletcher versus Mascarada Dorada.
Let's go. I wonder if WWE is gonna end up snatching up Mascarada Dorada like they're trying to.
Huh?
I hope so.
Are they? Are they?
Remember that story like a few weeks ago where they were looking at Mascarada
Oh,
Dorada?
yes, I do remember that. Hey man, hey
Way to
man.
get it.
I don't know a locker room on the planet that would not want Mascarada Dorada on their card. So Kyle Fletcher defeated Mascarada Dorada with a brainbuster. So then he would look at the camera and tell Dustin Rhodes he's going to take everything from him. Wow. TNT champion Dustin Rhodes. Wonderful.
I feel like TNT champion.
Because
Oh
Tony cannot
god.
help himself.
No, exactly.
What the fuck is this match, bro? Your idea coming out of All In Texas was to put Kyle Fletcher in a match with Mascarada fucking Dorada.
Makes no fucking sense, man. What do you say at this point besides okay? I'm just waiting for all out. Just
Legitimately,
give me
bro. What the fuck? Um, the we go back to the Young Bucks. They are directed to their locker room, and it is in a grungy hallway. And they finally pull up to what looks like some janitor closet. It's again, it is the most just it is the grungiest door in the basement of this arena. I don't know whose fucking room they were going into, but they finally find their locker room. It says like EVP locker room, and then somebody from AEW production walks up and crosses out EVP and puts like Young Bucks or something like that, or Matt and Nick locker room. And they're obviously mad because nobody's calling them Matthew and Nicholas. Everybody's back to calling them Matt and Nick. So they're pissed. Ricochet walks by with his boys, the Gates of Agony, and he does his laugh, his ha ha, and he walks away. So Ricochet's an asshole to them now, I guess. So
Yeah,
okay.
see, I know. All right, but
I don't know what. So then Don Callis, and Matt even said to him as he's walking away, he's like, "Dude, we just teamed together. Like what?" So
like, bro read the run sheet that they're fucking in a transitional babyface period, and it was like, all right, they're my ops now. Yeah, all right.
okay, so Don Callis comes up and he asks the Young Bucks to do business with him now that Kenny Omega is dead. The Bucks say they will never join his Don Callis family, but we do need some friends. Don says, "Well, I have 15 of them. I have a big faction." Yeah, Don, you also have one of the
Yeah, we
worst fucking
fucking
factions in recent memory. For the
like it's
record,
fucking dog.
yeah, 15 motherfuckers, and two of them hold their weight out of 15.
15.
He then hugs the Young Bucks as Twitter will try to tell you that Matt was smiling. He was not. They both looked very uncomfortable as they're kind of like giving each other the side eye, like what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Um, so again,
Yeah, man, Matt is gonna
yeah, Twitter is gonna tell you the Bucks are gonna turn on each other, and Nick Jackson should go on to win the AEW championship. That is not gonna happen. They both Don is gonna be used as somebody to get the Bucks back to a babyface. I can guarantee you. The young Bucks are not fucking turning on each other. Um, so
genuinely, they'll probably end up teaming with either Swerve or Will to help take out the Don Callis family at some point.
or Omega.
And they're when they or even Omega too. Yep, exactly. And probably all of them because both factions are so big. That'll
Yep,
be the next fucking blood and guts.
I could see that. I could see that.
I wouldn't be shocked actually.
So, the Hurt Syndicate. But yeah, that was that. Like I said, the Bucks, the Bucks are not turning, and that was the segment to, I guess, have them do some business with Don Callis. I don't know if anybody wants to do business with Don Callis.
No, no.
So the Hurt Syndicate. They're doing a video package that is filmed post All In, so they're like still in Arlington, Texas. They went from one Arlington to another. They went from Arlington, Texas to Arlington Heights, Illinois. That's kind of funny, but so they're like I said, they're still in Texas. MVP is in the back. Like I said, he says they've been begging for someone to step up and take these titles. He says this is getting boring. Montel,
Telling me?
this has been boring.
You're telling me,
Fuck.
motherfucker.
You, man. So he says, um, he says this is getting boring. MJF warns Adam Page. He says, no matter how much you run, I am always going to be behind you. He says you could be the main character because I do not mind being the villain. Because nice guys finish last. MVP then says, and we are not nice guys. That was that. That was that. So,
Liked it. Very simple. Basically, just teasing the power he has with his basically Money in the Bank briefcase.
yep.
So I like it, man. I like it, and I'm glad, even though Tony didn't know what the fuck to do with it the first time, he's deciding to still go with that basis because it is a great idea to have, and I hope they do well by it this time.
Yeah, for sure. And especially with a guy like MJF, I mean, you could say the same thing with a guy like Christian. Christian, even though it wasn't really the time for him to become AEW champion, he was perfect to hold something of that caliber, just the way his character is. And same thing with MJF. He's the perfect guy to hold that, hold that championship. He's literally the perfect guy to hold, or not that championship. He's the perfect guy to hold, again, a contract or a briefcase of some sort. So if you fuck this up, then I don't know what to tell you. But again, like I said, you fucked it up with Christian, so it does not surprise me. It would not surprise me if they did fuck it up with MJF. But again, this concept is perfect for a guy like MJF. I remember back in like 2020 when Chris Jericho talked a little bit about maybe getting the rights to the Money in the Bank because technically he created the thing. Everybody back in those days, 2020 2021, I think it was around that time, everybody talked about how cool it would be if AEW had a Money in the Bank concept because of guys like MJF. And now that he has it, I will hold this to a high standard, and I know that will end up being my mistake because I'm sure it will fall flat on its face. But legit, man. I mean, you have it on a guy like MJF, bro. There is no excuse for you to fuck up the contract like you did with Christian. Will they though? Probably. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'll obviously be interested to see how it does end up going, but I mean, we will see, man. Because I don't know. It's very hard to trust AEW, especially with what they did this year with the contract.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that was that. The Young Bucks and Doorknob Alexander and Harris Cero versus versus Jet Speed, Bandito, and Brody King.
Why are
Holy
they
fuck, man.
friends, dog?
What, what,
Why are Randy and Brody King friends, bro? Where'd that come from?
uh,
Yeah.
man, I'm watching Doorknob Alexander and Harris Arrow come down to the ring. How does one man have so little charisma? I mean, bro, this
It's
guy
just
is literally
acting.
just walking to the fucking ring, no emotion on his face. I mean, he's doing 1,000-yard stare. He's just staring. Like, what is
Good
going
wrestler, man.
on? Fuck. Good wrestler.
That's what he is. He's a good wrestler, man. I sure fucking hope so.
This dude
Yep.
literally has the personality of a fucking doorknob. I think my
Super
JBL
cool.
speaker right here has more fucking charisma than Josh Alexander. I mean, holy hell, man. The Young Bucks come out, they get like these low budget Titantrons. I thought it was pretty funny, man, to be honest. It was just Everybody, I guess, in production or everybody sort of fucking with the Bucks, man. They treated so many people like shit when they were EVPs, and how many times did we see them? How many times did we see them fuck with production and have, Okada mess with people's stuff, or they were messing with people's stuff themselves, man. So the production guys are getting their lick back on the Young Bucks. Like I said, they're giving them like these low budget Titantrons. It looks like something. It looks like something a preschooler would draw up. The match ended with the Young Bucks, Mr. Alexander, and Harris Cero defeating Jet Speed, Bandito, and Brody King. With a Harris Cero slingshotting Bandito into the Young Bucks for a pair of super kicks. And Bandito, who I believe is the ROH champion, took the clean pinfall loss here. So, yeah.
I love the ROH care, man. Yeah, I do like what they're doing with the Bucks overall. I like it. Everyone's getting the revenge on what were their shitty bosses. So that's always cool, man. I like the direction it's overall going. Other than that, this match was fucking literally nothing. It was a bunch of fucking randos and the Young Bucks, and then fucking Mike Bailey, having to fucking mix it in here. And yeah, that's usually sums up Dynamite.
There you go. Cope. Copeland is making his entrance, and Tony fucking Schiavone says, "This is classic, just Tony just being a fucking shill and not thinking about what the fuck he's saying, quite literally talking out of his ass." He says, Copeland telling Christian to go find yourself was the most dramatic moment of All In. Tony,
Someone needed to take the word moment out of his fucking vocabulary.
didn't he do that at All In? Something ended and he was like, what a moment! What a moment!
I think dude, that is his one of another of his classic lines. What a moment! What a moment! Every segment, every match, every post-match, anything. What a moment!
What a moment! What a fucking
What a
moment!
moment!
You know when I said what a moment? When they took Tony Schiavone off of commentary for the night to replace him with Jim Ross.
So good.
It-
Which
the-
is funny because they re-signed Ian Riccaboni to like kind of have him permanently be on commentary so they could leave Tony to do like the interviews,
yeah.
and now they're back right at it with him
Yep.
on the fucking booth. I don't get it.
Yep. I'm sorry, Tony. Did you fucking forget the main event where Adam Page was choking John Moxley and John Moxley had damn near a panic attack on the ring apron, fighting for his life as he was being choked out? Did you not see that at all, Tony?
That's not the moment. It was a great moment, a classic Dynamite moment that people look back for years.
What a
But
moment!
what a moment!
What a fucking joke. So he's so Copeland says he did not come out to help Christian. He says after everything he's done to him since he's joined AEW, he does not blame the patriarchy for what they did to him. He says he told him before exactly what would happen to him, but his ego got too inflated. But all I can hope is now you're somewhere pulling your giant cranium out of your ass. He says he came back to All In for FTR. He says they were the first call when I got cleared to compete again. He says they talked all about he talked all about forming Rated FTR and winning the trios titles, all when I was in a different company.
Just casually admitted to contract him.
So So, so you actively admitted being in WWE and thinking about going over to fucking AEW and leaving WWE in the dust. LOL.
Not just, not just that he was thinking, he was talking to contracted AEW talent about doing that and what they could be doing on AEW television. That is hilarious.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Fucking
Man,
Copeland, man.
man was tired of WWE, I guess. So,
That's the thing I was thinking too, Logan. The trios titles did not exist yet.
uh,
They didn't
like,
exist.
what were you thinking about winning, bro? Like, the, like, were they fantasizing about Tony maybe one day adding trios titles? Because if my knowledge serves me correctly, the trios titles, the inaugural match for those was at Brawl Out in 2022.
Yeah,
I don't.
that
Okay,
was like year 2.5 of AEW.
the fuck. Um. All right, but so he
Fuck
says
Call of Duty is saying shit.
he says all when I was in a different company. He says yet all within 2 weeks they started complaining about being glorified edgeheads. But what I've realized, he says, but what he's realized with megalomaniacs is they always want to blame everyone else.
You know what's the worst part is I actually overall liked, his promo and I liked what he said, but why does he gotta say fucking big stupid shit like fucking Cody does? You know what I mean? You know how Cody just says big stupid words for the fuck of it? Cope does the same thing, and I'm like, dude, just say egotistical. What are you saying megalomaniacs for?
Hey, bro. Well, when I see FTR, if somebody were to ask me, what kind of characters do FTR play? I would say, hey, bro, they're just a bunch of megalomaniacs, you know? Just like when I think of Adam Copeland, I say, this guy is the iconoclast, you know, or the iconoclast.
Iconoclast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
good
go.
lord.
There you go. He says what he's realized with megalomaniacs is they always want to blame everyone else. He says they put him on the shelf for 4 months. And as I get older, those are 4 months that I don't have. He says he's back to end FTR. Stokely Hathaway comes out with security,
Stokely.
and Excalibur, as Stokely's coming out here, Excalibur says he has security to build a human wall between him and Cope. The security get in the ring and they literally stand beside Stokely. They do not indeed build the human wall at all.
A human wall. What? They're pro wrestling security. It's like fucking you might as well be like 25 overall players. Like what do you mean they got a wall of security?
They're gonna build the human wall, which they did not end up doing. So he talks about Copeland's pyro. He says that is somebody's salary. He talked about how Spike is a liability. He says if Copeland gets involved with FTR's business from here on out, he is fired. He says he talked to AEW management about this, and he says if he gets involved with FTR's business, he is fired. He says FTR is not scared. They want to focus on the tag titles. He tells Copeland to find a hobby and leave FTR alone. I don't really know what they expect. I mean, they pile drove the guy, and did you expect him not to come back? Did you just think you were going to get to walk away and just just go, walk your jolly ass over to the Hurt Syndicate's house and fucking challenge them for the AEW Tag Team Championships. So, I mean, all right,
Yeah,
whatever.
they're poorly written heels. Of course, they didn't think people were gonna want to face them at some point for their actions.
True. So, Copeland, he says Stokely is coming out here looking like an angry Oompa Loompa. Um, the crowd starts chanting Oompa Loompa, and Copeland loves this, as you can guess. Copeland was very happy about
You
this.
know,
He probably thought that was the funniest fucking thing he's ever said in his life, but, you know, Copeland is unk status. So,
dude, he is cringy old uncle dude, and it's fucking hilarious.
100%. 100%.
Some people are on status too, and you wouldn't even think.
Yeah. Yeah. This is true. So he says, Copeland says he can't touch FTR, but what about you? He spears Stokely Hathaway, and I shit you not, all you fucking hear is, what a moment! Tony Schiavone screams, what a moment! At the end of this segment. Uh,
I hate him.
this promo just embodied Copeland and his unk status for me. The early half of the promo was okay. He lost me when he started talking about megalomaniacs. Then I just started laughing, and it was game over from there. Again, and then his dialogue with Stokely was so horrible. You just talked about how angry you were that these guys cost you 4 months of your career, and all you have to say to Stokely is he looks like an angry Oompa Loompa.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Like you said, I like the first part. I like the Christian related part. I think that he talked about that very well, and I like how AEW is handling that situation.
Mm-hmm.
They're not friends yet. They still, are on bad terms with each other, man. And it's gonna be a slower process, and I'm excited. I think they're doing part of it very well. And then it was just Adam Copeland, just generic, over try hard promo. It's funny because I mean, at this point, I expect it from this guy. He's a cringy guy. He thinks the lamest shit is cool, so yeah, I expect it. But like the Stokely shit, I just didn't like at all.
Yeah, I mean, bro, we're not in fucking 2005 anymore, bro. Calling somebody an Oompa Loompa is like the oldest fucking thing in the book, bro. It really is. It really is. But to Cope, that shit is probably like top tier shit to him. He probably was like,
Oh,
dude,
he
that
was like
that
fucking knee slammer right
that
there.
this is gonna be a joke that people are gonna remember. So, so
I remember it all right. All the reasons he thought.
yeah, I mean, yeah, again, man. I mean, this promo again. Once he started talking about megalomaniacs, he lost me, bro. He lost me. So
Like,
yeah, FTR, bro. A couple of megalomaniac men. So, um,
maniac.
Mark Briscoe. He's in the back. He says he will make MJF pay for his sins for invoking his brother's name. Um, okay.
Cool. He's gonna lose.
Yeah. all that for
I love the guy.
all that for him to get popped with a diamond ring and lose. So, um,
Bro's gonna get either pop with the diamond ring or the contract clipboard,
yeah,
and he's gonna lose.
golly,
I love the guy, but then he's gonna lose. So
yeah, man.
what does it matter?
The more they book Mark Briscoe down this singles path, it makes me wish every day, man, how awesome would the Briscoes have been in anywhere, man.
Literally, all they have to do is make the fucking guy win
Yeah,
occasionally.
yep,
It's the fucking Bray Wyatt problem. He's fucking great. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. They just make him a fucking loser for no reason.
yep. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So next we have Queen Aminata, Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, and Tekla in a 100K four-way fight. Uh,
Because I care so much how much fictional money a character on television is about to get. I care so much.
100K four-way fight. Uh, Tony, this is your post all-in episode. You're having 4 women battle over 100K.
Yep. Because he's rich, you know, and he could just throw money at things and people and matches and fucking not storylines.
What an absolute joke. Julia Hart comes out, while Sky Blue comes out, distracts the ref, and Julia Hart comes out, and Miss Queen Aminata, Tekla, hits a curb stomp on Queen Aminata for the victory, as she aligns herself with Julia Hart and Sky Blue in the House of Black, House of Heart. I don't know what they're. Are they even the Hounds of Hell anymore? I don't know. I don't think so. I
I don't think she's with them anymore. Or I think they basically like soft separated them from her.
no, they might have
At
soft.
least that's
They might
they don't
they,
fucking interact. So
they might have soft. They might have softly broken up Brody and Buddy too. I mean, he traded out Buddy for Bandito. It's his new boy. The bandits of hell. Brody King and Bandito.
bandits of hell. Good
There you go.
lord.
Excalibur says, I don't know if Tekla will claim the money after associating with Julia and Sky Blue. So 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 because she's with Julia Hart and Sky Blue, she doesn't want the money anymore. Like, what the fuck does that have to fucking do with anything? Like, quite literally, what does that have to do with anything? So yeah, I mean they're a group now, and we are 6 days removed from AEW Dynamite, and I am still trying to find somebody that cares about Tekla forming with Julia Hart and Sky Blue. So, oh, our guy here is frozen. Yeah, so as we wait for him to come back, yeah, again, I am still I am still very much searching for somebody who cares about Julia Hart pairing up with Sky Blue, and or about Tekla pairing up with Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Um, I mean, on paper, that sounds like a pretty cool pairing, I guess. They're all sort of, I guess, creepier kind of characters, but at the end of the day, we all know we all know none of these women are going to get used again. I don't even know why, which is crazy to me, because Julia Hart actually seemed like one of the people that they rather cared about in terms of like the future of the division. It seemed like she was kind of being taken seriously as a future piece to the division, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know who she pissed off. I don't know if I don't know if he's taking it out on all the members of the House of Black because they were friends with Malachi Black, um but yeah, I mean it is what can you say, man? So we don't know. We don't know if we do not know if Tekla will claim the money. But oh, there he is.
Lord. Good lord.
There he is.
Alrighty. Never fails. Oh, you gotta be fucking something.
That is correct. Yeah, so we don't know if Tekla is going to claim the money, but she is with Julia Hart and Sky Blue now. Tony Storm. Tony Storm is on the balcony to the Aragon Ballroom, and it actually looked very cool. It actually looked very cool. It was it's obviously like an old school looking venue, and Tony looked very cool standing up there, so I liked it a lot. Tony says, enough of this gay banter. She says she is the whore you can all adore, the slut you can't rebut, the bitch you want to itch, the skank you want to spank, the trollop that you cannot wallop, the tramp that is still the champ. She thanks Mercedes Money for going all in with her. She says they did what they set out to do, but as I've said, if she made one false move, I would eat her alive. And darling, you were delicious. But if you want to come back for seconds, this buffet is always open. She announces Luther Luger was injured in the line of duty. She says she cannot tell what happened because it requires reattachment surgery. She says her tits are pointing to the future, and in this business. And then we see Athena pop up on the Tron. She says she's the forever ROH Women's Champion. That is no man's land. She says, and all Tony will be remembered for is being a wide-hipped heifer. And soon, she will be the AEW Women's Champion. She says Luther and Mina Shirakawa are hurt. She says that means there is no one left to save you when I execute my contract. She says her demise and murder are here. Tony says, if you're ready, I will be sweaty. If you're willing, I will be thrilling. And if you're able, I will bend you over the table. I don't fucking know if I'm listening to Tony Storm or Sir K at this point. Okay? So,
Yeah, what are you talking about?
this fucking guy. So, anyways,
This guy's talking about. Hey.
I don't know. Again, man, I don't know. Sometimes I'm thinking to myself, you know, Sir K's over here on some different type of timing, man. So, that was that. It looks like kind of odd that they're having her go into like a full-fledged feud with the contract holder. I mean, that would be like Seth Rollins winning Money in the Bank and then feuding with Gunther. You know, typically you keep those people separate, so I don't really know what they got going on here unless Athena is going to do a planned cash in, you know, to just set up a match. But again, I wouldn't do it like that personally. Athena is a heel, so obviously, like, why would you have her like announce some sort of cash in? And if she's not going to announce some sort of cash in, then why the fuck are they feuding? Again, you don't have somebody win Money in the Bank and then immediately go into a feud with the world champion. Just kind of, typically, wouldn't you want to, like, I mean, if you were thinking with your brain, wouldn't you want to like hide or like, you know, kind of stay hidden in plain sight as you hold a briefcase or a contract? I don't know. Just me. Again, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. So, this must be all they got, though. This must be all they got for, man, his Wi-Fi is giving him a hard time today, guys. So Yeah, again, I don't really know why you would. I don't really know why you would do something like that. Like I said, you I'm sure the I mean I know now, granted everybody probably isn't built properly, but I know there's got to be somebody that you can plug in there to there's got to be somebody that you can plug in there to go up against Tony Storm while Athena kind of waits in the shadows, because I think they did something on Collision as well. So again, it just sort of makes me think, like, why, well, why have these two women feud when one of them has a guaranteed shot at the championship? So I mean, it is what it is. I don't really understand it. I don't really understand it, man, but this is what Tony wants to do coming out of All In. I guess now he finally decides he wants to utilize Athena to her max potential while she's in AEW. So yeah, I mean that is quite the decision. But
Mm,
are you here?
it would have been nice. Yes.
Oh, okay. We can't see you.
Oh, okay. So it's all the same on my end. Oh wait, hold on. Okay,
There
just
you
Discord just
are.
turned off my camera. Oh,
Okay.
good lord.
Um,
Whole lot of fucking Wi-Fi adapter problems, but yeah, I don't know why he decides to use her now and not before All In.
I was saying, I think you were frozen at the time. Um, you know, the point I was mentioning was, why feud, essentially your Mrs. Money in the Bank with the Women's World Champion right out of the gate. Don't really
Yeah, I
understand
don't
that.
get
Again,
that.
that would be that would be like Rollins winning Money in the Bank and then going into a feud with Gunther. Like, you hold the
Exactly.
briefcase. Why are you feuding with the world champion? Um, oh, Athena might have a contract coming up. That could make a lot of sense. That could make a lot of sense. She may have bargained. That may have been her bargaining. That may have been the only bargaining chip to actually get her on the AEW roster. Tony probably would have kept her in ROH, knowing him.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
Nick Wayne is in the back. He says Christian Cage is past his expiration date. He says he is a liability to the patriarchy. And then he questions how many world championships will he win? And he obviously makes the argument for a lot. I mean, this was fine. Just a simple follow up to, the Christian stuff. And it really didn't do anything, to be honest, but it was fine.
Definitely. It was fine. I liked it.
Okada defeated a jobber. You've got to be kidding me. This guy just fucking faced Kenny Omega in a 30-minute match at All In. Damn near a 30-minute bout. And the next piece of creative you have for him is a fucking squash match.
I don't fucking understand, man.
And Don Callis comes out here holding both titles, looking like the biggest Paul Heyman ripoff I've ever seen in my entire life. You remember when Roman first got the belt that we see now, and Paul Heyman still was wearing the Universal and the WWE Championship? That was literally Don Callis here. This man thinks he's Paul Heyman.
I don't get why those two titles are still being shown around. I don't get it.
That makes two of us. Um, Okada comes out with a new theme song. Sounded,
I like it.
from what I can remember, it sounded okay. He's, I don't know if they had some type of problems using his New Japan one. Apparently, Okada asked for the theme song, so I don't know if maybe he just wanted something different. He's used the same song since 2012, so it's been a while. Maybe he just needed something new. And Okada beats the guy, whoever it was, the jobber, with a Rainmaker.
Of
He,
course, gotta face the fucking jobber.
yeah. He calls out Swerve Strickland because he screwed over his friends, the Young Bucks.
He screwed him over, man.
Okada and Swerve Strickland.
That's an interesting fucking program.
The Elite have not been a unit on TV since the Bucks left in October or November of last year. And they he this is that's the reason he's in a program with Swerve. That is rather fucking random. But
Very
okay.
random.
Swerve comes out. He looks at Okada. He says, "Yeah, I did that. What are you gonna do about it, bitch?" And these two um, get very angry with one another, and that was it. Rather random. I don't know. Again, I Okada and Swerve, I guess. All right. Again, rather random. I'm sure the match is going to be great, but rather random. I am glad though that they're having Okada face actual people. Obviously, we've seen it with Kenny, and we've seen it with and we're seeing it now with Swerve. But again, Okada, he's felt like the biggest mid card signing ever since joining AEW. So at least they're putting him in there with somewhat main eventers now. Which we did hear AEW did want to make the championship like a big thing. So, there you go.
Interested to see if this is their way to do that. Don't know how successful that'll be with Tony Khan's booking, but interesting matchup nonetheless.
Definitely. Hangman, Will Hobbs, and Mark Briscoe versus the Death Riders. Um,
Good lord. I mean, why is he facing the Death Rider still?
what in the world is that for a post All In main event? Hangman, Will Hobbs, and Mark Briscoe versus the Death Riders. Hangman
Yeah, dude,
hits a jackknife roll up cover to the linchpin.
the linchpin.
Claudio. The Death Riders attack after the match. Darby Allin is up in the rafters of the building. He distracts John Moxley, and Adam Page takes advantage and hits Mox with a buckshot lariat during this, and the Death Riders retreat. That was AEW, man. Rather boring. What was that?
Yeah. Just a very boring, mostly meaningless, post fucking all in episode of Dynamite.
Post All In. There you go.
All in.
So, yeah, that was that. Yes, very boring. If you could not tell by me yawning, that episode of Dynamite was very boring. And yeah, that was pretty much about it, man. But as for that, that is everything for. Like I said, man, that is everything for AEW this past week. And we do have, before we move on here, man, to SmackDown, we have an official word from our sponsor here at NHP, W Energy. W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. W is a clean formula, sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase.
Truly, always got a shout out to Dubby. Whether workout, whatever you may need the energy for. Could be anything. Could be Dynamite. Especially this week. I think we're in for another one. So if you guys need the energy, you guys want to stay up and you won't want the jitters, try Dubby. It'll taste good all at the same time.
Absolutely, man. So, as always, thank you so very much, and shout out to the official sponsor and the great people over at Dubby. Thank you guys as always, and SmackDown. SmackDown, man. This is
Because,
man, this show is something. Man.
God, it really is.
Yeah, that man. This show um they did a I don't want to say show long, sort of. They did sort of a show long, I guess, angle with Jacob Fatu being framed for some sort of vehicular manslaughter or whatever it was. Um and bro, so Solo tried to frame Jacob Fatu. He said something in the ring about once a criminal, always a criminal. Talking about Fatu, bro. Did you see that clip of Fatu talking to the fucking police officers, bro?
It was hilarious,
Oh
bro.
my god,
J-
Jacob is a gem.
What? That
I ain't
shit
talking
was
to you,
hilarious.
police. I ain't do
The
nothing.
fucking do nothing. And fucking you got fucking all this trying to be like, hey, it's okay, man, just talk to the police
Bro,
and everything. Dude, that shit was hilarious.
hilarious, dude. Absolutely hilarious. So they found out it was Solo. So they lock Solo up. As he's standing next to the officers, he's pointing at Jacob Fatu. He's like, go on, get him. And he points, and the officer grabs Solo's hand that he's using to point and handcuffs Solo Sokoa. As it gets made official, a steel cage match for SummerSlam between Jacob and Solo. Um, should be pretty good. I'm excited to see it, man, and I like the angle. It was, I always like. It's always, just fun when they do those, show long angles, and it's, just again, just something throughout the whole episode that we're continuously getting updates on and trying to see what happens. It's a very simple form of storytelling, man, and I like when they do it. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I enjoyed it.
Exactly. I like when they do it. I like when they do that, man. And I like what they did. It was hilarious. Very fucking funny. And it sets up their cage match. And, I'm excited. Even though, I know it's going to happen since it's a WWE cage match. But I'm still excited nonetheless.
Absolutely. So Andrade and Ray Phoenix already. Meanwhile, last week they declared they were in the tag division now. They are already the number one contenders for the tag titles, defeating Fraxium, DIY, and Motor City Machine Guns.
Same thing every time.
New
New tag team, title spot. Either get the titles or don't. And then they're back to doing nothing.
uh, you know, I, 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 I don't understand. I just, I do not, I seriously cannot, for the life of me, I cannot comprehend the fall off, bro. I mean, we made a thumbnail on it the other week, bro, but oh my god, the fall off of Triple H and tag team wrestling. I mean, what in the world? Just joined the division, and they are. I mean, man, he what happened, bro? What the fuck happened?
Wish I knew, dude. Really fucking wish I knew.
Andrade and Ray Phoenix become the number one contenders for the Wyatt Six. I think we all know where that's going. Um, so yeah, that is that. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss become the number one contenders for the women's tag team championships as they get their match at SummerSlam. This is actually one of the things I've actually not minded on SmackDown. At first, I was kind of just like, what is this? This is kind of odd. And Charlotte and Alexa Bliss being a tag team, like, okay, that's rather weird. But actually, man, I actually haven't minded it at all, to be honest. I've actually liked it. It's been a nice little side story and just something intriguing for both women to do. So I actually don't mind it as much as I thought I was going to. Hmm. That's why he's not talking. He's frozen again. Sir K. Sir K is getting hit with the Sir K is getting hit with some IT problems today from the IT man himself. But yeah, like I said, it's something for both of them to do, and it's something that keeps Charlotte out of the title picture. So I'm cool with that. And if they're not going to put Alexa Bliss in the Wyatt Six or have her do anything around the title picture either, then this is something that's nice. It's a simple enough story for them to tell, and something that can all be, and something that is, like I said, just nice for both women to do in the downtime. As for if they win the tag titles, that I'm not too sure of. That I'm not too sure of, man, because of um the whole Judgment Day story. I don't know how long they want to drag that out. I don't know how long they want to drag out, you know, both women, sorry, both teams in the Judgment Day having all the gold. It also depends on like Liv Morgan, what's up with her injury. When do they want to have her come back into that whole thing? Do they want the titles on them by the time she comes back, or is it going to be a thing where she comes back and all the championships are gone, which I doubt. So I would think that the Judgment Day retain, but I don't know. It all depends on, I guess, how WWE wants to go about it. Really? No way. Oh wow. Wow. So Logan says in chat, and it look, damn, it's true. Ozzy Osbourne passed away. Ozzy Osbourne passed away, man. Well, wow, man. So Sir K has let me know that he had to restart his computer. He has been dealing with problems lately with his computer hooking up to Wi-Fi. So we apologize for that. He'll be back in just a second, but wow, man, condolences, man. Condolences to the Osborne family, man. Condolences to all his kids, Sharon. Wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I was just talking to my OG about we were talking about Ozzy the other Sunday. We were talking about Ozzy. Man, um, we were talking about Ozzy because the other day we were talking about she was asking me what my favorite what my favorite band was. So obviously I told her Beartooth. You guys all know that. If you guys have listened to us for a while, you guys know Beartooth is my personal favorite band. But in general, in general, yes, they're my favorite band. But if you talk about like, if you talk about older bands, I've always said Black Sabbath. I love Black Sabbath, and you know me and I remember, man, me and my buddies used to have conversations. Me and my buddies used to have conversations about like, dude, if you were a wrestler, what would your theme song be? And I would always tell people, or we would, we would always ask each other, like, if you were to have one artist make like a theme song for you, if you were a wrestler per se, who would it be? And I would always say Ozzy, man. I always loved his voice. I always loved his voice, man. Man, that's crazy, man. For the longest time, I wanted Wardlow to come out to War Pigs by Black Sabbath, man. I also love, what are some other, Dreamer by Ozzy. Ozzy Osbourne is a great one. But man, I mean, what an amazing voice. What an amazing voice, man. I mean, I'm definitely, in honor of him, man, I'm definitely gonna have to bump some Black Sabbath today, man. Just some Ozzy Osbourne in general. That is horrible to hear. That is horrible to hear, man. That is very sad. He will be missed. He will be missed, man. I always love listening to Ozzy, man. I always love listening to Ozzy. What an absolute legend in the game, and man, that really sucks to hear. Again, an absolute legend, bro. An absolute legend. Man, that sucks. That really sucks, bro. That really sucks to hear. Um Man. Wow. So, yeah, I remember when I was little, my mom had she had like an my mom's like big like um she's like big into like collecting stuff. So like I mean, you know, just all types of collectibles, like old stuff, right? Old stuff she's had since she was a kid, like again like like plush, like Chucky dolls, anything like horror related, all types of stuff. And I remember, bro, right outside of my room, she had there was an Ozzy like big like plush doll that she always kept. She probably still has it to this day. I'm sure she does. Actually, yeah, I know for a fact she does. But I remember it had a little button you could press on the stomach, and it would play it would play Crazy Train. Um and I remember I used to always hit that button. I used to always hit that button, and I used to drive my parents fucking nuts hitting that button, man. But that sucks. That really sucks to hear, man. That really sucks. So condolences to all its friends and all his family, man. And man, I mean, I'll continue, and I'm sure a lot of other people will also continue to bump his music for a very long time. So he will be missed, but he will definitely not be forgotten, bro. Absolute legend in the game, and that really sucks to hear again. One of my favorite voices in all of music is Ozzy Osbourne, man. I mean, what a voice! What a fucking voice that man had. I mean, just amazing, amazing, man. So that sucks, dude. That sucks. But uh looks like Sir K is still on the verge of it looks like Sir K is still on the verge of joining us back here again soon. So doesn't look like he's ready quite yet. Um but man, like I said, bro, that sucks. That really sucks to hear. I had to do a double take. I was like, why is Logan making a chat about Ozzy Osbourne? And I was like, oh, damn. Let's see. He says this was weeks after his farewell. Apparently, he was hoping that he would pass away during his last show. That would be that's a very Ozzy thing. That is a very Ozzy thing. That man didn't he like eat, didn't he like take a bite out of like a bat on stage before? Um, Crazy guy, bro. Crazy guy. That sucks to hear, man. That sucks to hear. So I'm definitely gonna have to be playing some Ozzy today in honor of the man. I mean, I play him all the time, but definitely today, for sure. Man, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. That really sucks to hear. Um, so, uh, well, as we wait for Sir K, man, we can go over the last segment here on the show that we have to talk about for SmackDown. John Cena and Cody Rhodes, the contract signing for the For the WWE Championship match at SummerSlam. So, Cody comes out there. He is ready as can be to sign the contract for the match at SummerSlam. And John Cena comes out sporting some, may I say, beautiful San Antonio Spurs inspired gear, which may have been delivered today, but that's a different story. It's a different story. That is my personal business, but it's a beautiful shirt nonetheless. Nonetheless, it is like, it's obviously a mix of like new Spurs, but then behind them it's got that beautiful splash of that like pink and like teal or turquoise, whatever it is, that Spurs color that they used to use. I think there's a little splash orange in there too, man. That retro Spurs look looks beautiful. A beautiful piece of merch. Comes out there, and this isn't the normal cocky John Cena we're used to seeing, right? This John Cena he looks like something's wrong. He looks a little frantic. He looks like he's got something on his mind. Okay? He comes out there and he tells Cody, "Look, man, I know you're really looking forward to this match, and I'm so sorry. But I have a movie to film, and I will not be able to make SummerSlam. I won't be able to make SummerSlam." Crowd's obviously booing. And, Cena says, "Look, but as soon as I get back, you're going to be the first to get an opportunity at this championship. I can't make SummerSlam right now." So he says, "Cody, I'm sorry." And he grabs his belt and he walks away. He legit starts to walk away. He's up the ramp. Cody gets pissed off, brings him towards the ring as these two again have now started to brawl here, and he gets Cena in the ring, puts him on the contract table, goes up to the top rope, and at this point I'm thinking to myself, what does Cody do off the top? Like, is he gonna hit him with a moonsault? Like, what is Cody, with John Cena laying on the table? What is Cody going to do? And he just gives him a regular splash in a suit, which had to have been one of the funniest visuals that I've ever seen. That was honestly, I don't know what I expected him to do, but that was not it. I mean, that legitimately looked like the default splash animation. Like, when you're playing 2K and they got like some cool splashes, right? They got like a 5-star frog splash. They got like an Uso splash in there. Splashes that, look, I guess, a little bit more, visually cool. No, Cody deadass just flew through the air with his arms in front of him like he's fucking Superman and just did a default splash animation onto John Cena. Absolutely hilarious. Hilarious, bro. I seen Cena got busted open a little bit on his forehead, and he makes John Cena sign he puts the pen in Cena's hand and as Cody's has a hold of John's hand, he signs it himself. He signs the contract. He signs the contract himself. Oh, here we go. I think our man's is back. Yes, he is. There he is.
Good. Holy fucking Wi-Fi problems.
So he makes Cena he makes Cena sign the contract himself, and then he tells him that it will be a street fight. They're doing a lot of stipulation matches, and we'll get to that a little bit more on Monday Night Raw. It's a little surprising how many stipulation matches they got going on here. on
That is true.
Summers on the SummerSlam card. This is going to be a street fight. Honestly, bro, I think this will make this probably a hell of a lot better than their Mania match was. Again, just by adding just a little weaponry into it, because we definitely don't need a repeat of that whole scenario. The segment was cool. Like I said, the splash took me out. It really did. But Cena, again, the franticness about him, was very interesting, and it's very interesting to see because they're really making it seem like Cody's, got this one in the bag. Now, again, this was kind of the first or second week to really get the SummerSlam build underway, but it's very interesting to me. Like I said, just how much um they it's just seems like they're playing Cody Rhodes up to really have this one in the bag. And I mean, we'll see how it develops, but I don't know. I really wouldn't be shocked with a John Cena retain here, bro. But yeah, other than that, I like the segment, man. And again, like I said, the splash was absolutely hilarious. But I did like the segment, and I thought it was a very different way to do a contract signing, making Cena unconsciously sign the contract. So I did like it
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. I think it's very interesting. I think they might be playing it up a little too much with Cody, and I think how much the fans are talking about, Cody's gonna do the double turn, double turn's gonna happen, and Cody's gonna win. The more people talk about it, the less I think it's happening, man. So I think it's being set up very interestingly, and I think I don't know who might be champ coming out of that, but I don't know if Cody's gonna be heel yet.
for sure, for sure. So that was pretty much everything on SmackDown, man. That was pretty much everything on SmackDown, and yeah. So that was the last time for San Antonio to see the goat. So uh, yeah, that was it. Sir K, while you were gone, I spoke a little bit about the man, but did you have anything you wanted to say about Ozzy? Look at the chat.
Oh wow, really? Oh my God, that's crazy.
Very.
Oh damn, I did not know that. That's really sad. That man is a legend. Um, damn, that is horrible. That sucks. Truly wish his family the best.
No doubt, bro. So that's that. Um, moving on here. Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. This was from Houston, Texas, the Toyota Center. Man, Houston is always man, they're always a rough
Man,
crowd. I must say.
crowd they'll pop for segments, but they do not care about anything else other than like entrances
Yeah,
and like catchphrases.
for sure. For sure. The show opens up and we get the Judgment Day rolling up, and Dom's driving, and obviously this is the week he's going to be cleared. And he gets out and hands his keys to Valet before he realizes that Valet is AJ Styles. AJ is there.
Mhm.
He's asking Dominic. He's asking Dominic. You're gonna get cleared today, right? And Dominic, he's like, telling him to leave him alone or whatever. And AJ grabs his keys, and then he just throws his keys up in the air, man. So I guess the Judgment Day they stayed parked there all night, until it
They
was time
stay
for them to
parked
leave.
in the way.
Probably with their doors still
Uh,
open. Um,
well,
so yeah, that is uh, that was the opening segment. So that was funny. That was one of three jobs that AJ had for the night. So I don't know. I guess he was looking around on Indeed or something. So there you go.
using that FTR timing, thinking about what he's gonna do after retirement, man.
Yep. There you go.
The AJ stuff was funny. It was obvious, Dom is getting cleared tonight, so I think they just wanted to run through all the little funny segments they thought of for AJ
Yeah.
in one night, and it was funny. It was a funny gag throughout the night.
It was. It was very funny. Um. we we get to the open to the show, and it's CM Punk. He comes out, he does his shtick. It's a great night to be live on a Monday in Houston or whatever. He says he came back with 2 goals: to main event WrestleMania and become the World Heavyweight Champion. He says he's done one of them. The other one's a little harder. Sometimes you get sidetracked, but now I can focus on that goal because I won the gauntlet match last week to make me the #1 contender. He says Gunther is one of the best in the world, and I can't promise a win, but I can promise to give it everything that I have. He says, I only have 2 weeks to prepare for this beast. But then I thought to myself, I've been training for this my whole life. I'm not any regular challenger. I'm CM Punk. I am the best in the world. Gunther comes out. He interrupts Punk. He says he did not come out here to throw insults or create drama. He says we're both here. He says me and you are more similar than you think. He says we're both here to make money and win championships. He says we both consider ourselves the best in the world. We both have massive egos, but my ego is justified. Yours is based on what they think, the fans. He says, and that's worthless. Mine is based on results. The best in the world is the man that holds the World Heavyweight Championship. And at SummerSlam, when the bell rings, he says, at SummerSlam, when the bell rings, I will make you regret ever stepping into a ring. I'm going to maul you. I'm going to push you around, choke you out, and drop you like a wet towel. And then you will realize I was right. You will never be the World Heavyweight Champion or the best in the world. But you know what? At least you'll have these degenerates chanting for you for the rest of your life. I like this segment. I did like the segment. The only thing was there was this like awkwardness where like Gunther went to walk away and it seemed like Punk was going to say something back to him, but then they just hit Gunther's music and that was it, and Punk just had nothing else to say to him. I mean, we still got another 2 weeks, I get. Let me see. So we got next week. No. Oh my God, really? Next week is the go home show? Oh, it is.
Yeah. Next week is the Golden Show. Punk was a lion saying we have 2 weeks to prepare. I don't think he was talking about himself. I think he was talking to Triple H.
He sure did say that. He sure did say that too. You're right. Yeah, like again, I did like the segment. I did. It was like, I mean, it was simple. It was to the point, but it was just like, again, there was just this little awkwardness after where it just felt like, what are we doing here? Like what is Punk gonna say something? And then, like I said, they just hit Gunther's music, and it was just like, oh, okay, it's over. And I'm like, so again, I'm like, so we're this close to SummerSlam. This guy has nothing to say back to Gunther. He has nothing to say to him. Nothing at all. Odd. Very odd. Very, very odd.
I have a problem with this segment too, man. No. Am I still here?
Yes.
Nope.
You are.
Okay.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
Okay. That's. But yeah, man, it's very, very weird, kind of very awkward segment overall. I like it. I just feel like I don't know if they didn't have, the time on the episode that they should have gave them, or I don't know if there's just I don't know, something was just weird and awkward about this interaction where I feel like both wanted to say more, but for some reason they couldn't or didn't. Um, so I'm very curious, man, very curious, because they had Gunther go out there and say, he's not trying to start drama and throw insults, but like that's what I want from a Gunther promo. You know what I mean? I want him to insult Punk. I want him to get under his skin.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think next week will really be the teller about this for me.
Yeah, I don't know what in the world I was thinking, bro. I don't know if maybe time is just moving fast, but I don't know why the hell I thought we had 2 weeks left, like 2 more Raws till SummerSlam. Um, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Like you said, why are you not under? Why are you not getting under his skin? You know what I mean? I mean, that to me makes no sense. And again, for what they did with Punk, you mean to tell me you have nothing to say to him after he just said he was going to drop you like a fucking wet towel? You have nothing to say to him. Nothing. What what are we doing, man? What are we
Don't get
doing?
it.
One episode of Raw left till SummerSlam. This is what we have going on. What is that? I don't get that at all. Um and yeah, that was that. Like I said, the segment was good. You know what I mean? I mean, I liked I liked what was said. It just felt like there was so much more to be said. It felt like we were only halfway through the segment and then it ended. And I was like, "Oh, that's it? This is the world title program for SummerSlam. Why is a fucking tag team match with the Seth Riders versus the Bloodline feel more important than Gunther and CM Punk?" Which makes me think, are they actually going to fucking have that main event over Gunther and Punk?
Dude, I feel
Because what the fuck? I mean, what?
at this point, I'd probably take that women's triple threat over both of these fucking matches to main event night one. Cause like, what are you guys doing here?
I don't blame you for feeling that way. Because what is going on? So, um, yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Stephanie Vaquer was backstage. She's asked about Chelsea Green. She says Chelsea is not her problem. Naomi comes up and says Stephanie Vaquer, or however you say it.
Dude, that shit killed me. She is fucking hilarious.
Naomi, who would have knew? All you needed was just a
Like,
simple fucking heel turn. And she wasn't bad or anything before it. She was just, just a baby face, another baby face woman on the roster. This whole thing, uh, this has been great. I mean, she has really been amazing, man. She really has. So she says, I don't know if we met, but I am the women's world champion. Stephanie says, I know who you are. And Naomi says, okay, newbie. She says, after I beat Rhea and Io at SummerSlam, you will be facing me at Clash in Paris. Stephanie says, yeah, that's if you survive. She says she is going to beat Rhea Dog. And if that were me, I wouldn't let that slide. But that's just me. She says, well, anyway, see you in Paris. Oui, oui. And she walks away. Uh,
she. Mhm.
Again, I knew now ever since she turned heel, I knew she could cut a good promo. I did not know she was this funny, bro. I really didn't.
Dude, she's fucking hilarious. And she's fucking great in this fucking heel role. and I'm very glad that we get to see more of her on Raw now, and she's fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, that was that. Rusev and Sheamus. Rusev and Sheamus. The match was great. The match was great again. Sheamus had a bit of a slip up. He went to go for a clothesline to the outside, slipped up a little bit, and he slipped up. He got on the top rope to jump onto the outside, slipped up a little bit, fell back into the ring. And I will say, man, Rusev was standing there waiting to catch him. And I got to point this out because I thought this was, I honestly thought this was like a master class of like not looking like an idiot. Rusev, as Sheamus was, as Sheamus stumbled back in the ring, Rusev could have easily just stood there like an idiot and just waited for him. What does this guy do? He starts stumbling around as if, Sheamus, kind of knocked a couple screws loose and he was still trying to recuperate from it and waited for Sheamus to get back on the top rope. It's the little things. And to me, I honestly, that was, I actually really, that's a really small thing, but man, that is like, it's the little things, bro. That was actually really, really cool. And I really like that. I really like that he, again, it's just in such a simple way, easily made things flow so well there. Because again, if we were to see that spot in like AEW, I guarantee you the dude would have just stood there and just waited for whoever to get back up on the top rope, man. But that again, that was a very small detail that I really appreciated. He seen Sheamus stumbled, and so he kind of stumbled himself on the outside as he waited for Sheamus to get back in position. I really like that, so I got to give him his credit for that. Sheamus hit a clothesline on the outside. He then yells in the camera, are you not entertained?" As he does this, and offered everybody on Twitter a new meme photo, saying that was a close one. So afterwards, Rusev hit a fallaway slam on the announce table. They get back in the ring. He went to run at Sheamus for a Machka kick, and Sheamus hit him with a brutal bicycle knee. Rusev put Sheamus in the accolade, and Sheamus got out of it. Rusev uncovered the turnbuckle pad again. While the ref was putting it back on, he grabbed Sheamus's shillelagh, went to hit Sheamus with it, and got popped with a brogue kick. He popped him with it for sure. Rusev did end up losing. My only complaint here, I wish the ref would have turned around so Rusev wouldn't have been down for like a 6 count, because Sheamus had him pinned for a minute. Again, it was like maybe like a solid 3 seconds, man, where Rusev was just laying there and Sheamus was not getting the count. And then the ref turned around, yet still counted to 3. I wish it would have been a smooth 3 count. But either way, man, I don't really feel that Rusev, like, I don't really feel that this really tarnishes him at all. I just wish that part would have flowed better. So yeah.
Yeah, in that moment, I expected a kick out because the ref was taking so long, and I was very shocked when he didn't kick out. Coulda Ref could have played that a little better, but overall, great fucking match. I think the loss to Sheamus is fine. I think both parties are going to be great and fine, and I like where this is going, man. I feel like we're going to get more from these two.
For sure. For sure. So we got El Grande Americano. He is in the back, and he gets confronted by Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee tells him he's a fake luchador, and he does not have the luchador fire. And these two break out in a brawl. Wow. This
Dude, why
is
why are they keeping this gimmick up?
what do you mean? It never went away.
Like, it should have. That's the problem.
Why?
Because
Why?
it's fucking. It was, dude. It was funny, when Gable was it. It's kind of funny hearing,
Gable wasn't
Ludwig.
Grande.
We ain't doing this, bro. Um, it's funny hearing fucking what's his name, fucking speaking like a Spanish German accent. But like, just, what's the end game here for this? Is my question. What is the end game for this?
He's trying to put the luchadors to shame, bro. I honestly don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why you mentioned Chad Gable for some reason. Logan, do you know why you mentioned Chad Gable? Anybody? The gimmick never went away, bro. And he's in a heated rivalry with Dragon Lee right now. Fighting over who has the luchador fire. Okay.
Triple H.
But look, man, or Grande, he's he's always been around, bro. He's never went away. Why would Chad Gable's injury have anything to do with him? That's my question. I don't understand really where you're coming from. I don't understand where you're coming from half the time, but that's a different topic. We could probably make a whole side episode just talking about that. But um uh I mean, yeah,
So fucking. Why don't they just rip his mask off like heels always do?
well, he's not MJF.
Well, someone's gonna rip him off. Should rip off the mask and show who really is under that mask.
He's a luchador from Mexico. You can't do that.
Well, and do it every other week to everybody else.
No,
That's
that's on AEW. That's an AEW. That's
Eh,
MJF's gimmick. He's
I
good.
think
He's
they
got
were
a.
doing it to Ray Phoenix 2 weeks ago.
They did.
Oh yeah, they were doing it to Ray Phoenix 2 weeks ago. I think they did it to Dragon Lee a
I was
few
gonna say,
weeks
didn't they
ago.
just do that to Dragon Lee too?
It's every week. There's a luchador fucking getting their mask ripped off by a heel. Every fucking week.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the Grande. There's no way that mask comes off until Gable comes back, and even at that, when Gable comes back, I genuinely think they're going to do Grande versus Grande Americano, bro. I think they're gonna do two of them. Either they're gonna be a tag team, or they're gonna do Gable versus Ludwig, both in the fucking costume.
Totally see that because they're gonna be dude.
It's
Oh
gonna
man,
be
that's
like
exactly what they're gonna do. The
it's gonna be like Sin Cara Azul versus Sin Cara Negro.
It's literally, I could tell you the story right now. Gable
Tell me,
is El Grande.
tell me the
People don't
story.
believe it, but
No, he's not.
since Gable's out, Ludwig took the mantle, and now when he comes back, like you said, I actually do think we're gonna get two fucking El Grandes facing each other,
It's just
and
gonna.
that is just gonna be something else.
They're getting Chad Gable ready for SummerSlam in Minnesota. Maybe he'll actually get something there.
He's
One
gonna
more
get
year.
Grande versus Grande. What a fucking prize!
Well, maybe it'll be done by then. Maybe after. Maybe they'll blow it off at Mania,
Bro, it's Triple H.
and then we can finally maybe start. Getting Chad Gable ready for his hometown SummerSlam. So we'll see. We'll see. Probably not. That's all. This is all just wishful
This,
thinking, but a man can dream.
hey, this is Triple H, big dog. We ain't getting nothing like good. Now with someone's hometown, unless you're gonna be John Cena, you do not do something good in your hometown.
Because the thing is, bro, if Triple H was smart, Gable is hurt, he would bring him back, blow off the Americano stuff at Mania, because I could see Triple H doing it at Mania. And I mean, it's been fairly over to where you could do the big reveal in front of a big crowd at Mania.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's fucking Chad Gable or whatever. And
Right.
then after that, the summer of 26, that needs to be all a Chad Gable build up. I don't know. Maybe he wins King of the Ring. I would love that. If I were booking it, he would fucking win King of the Ring. This is Triple H. He's probably gonna fucking end up winning the U.S. title or some shit at SummerSlam next year. If it were me, I would have Gable win King of the Ring and win the World Heavyweight Championship. That's just me though. But again, SummerSlam is in Minnesota next year. Gable's from Minnesota. He's probably going to get his hands on some mid-card title at that show. I can only fucking hope. Will Triple H forget about him by then? Probably, but, you know, it is what it is.
Good.
But yeah, we got Grande Americano and Dragon Lee in
Luchador Fire, man.
he's fighting over the Luchador Fire. WWE announces, yeah, WWE announces, in case anybody is interested. I hope it ends up being good. But they announced WWE Unreal for next Tuesday is when it debuts.
I swear the little fucking teaser they showed got cut off so fucking early. I was like, that's it. It had to have been accident. It had to have been a production error. They literally show like the stuff we seen on TV with the Royal Rumble, you know, Speed's involvement. They shown what we exactly saw from Gorilla on Royal Rumble itself, and then it just cut off. Like that's not something that's not pulling back the curtain. That's the segment we saw. Why would you show us this?
You know, I was thinking this. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like,
This is storyline.
They're like, you could take a look behind the scenes, and then they show that clip of Speed joining the Rumble. I'm like, that
was a segment.
We already fucking seen this. Like, yeah, I'm like, this was shown on TV, but who knows? Maybe we'll get some footage and like, I really hope it's just like more just like backstage footage and like interview type of thing. I really hope it's not like I know they're billing it as like join the writers room or whatever the fuck they were saying, or go behind the curtain and see how things really go down. And like I like to me, man, it's just like I don't really know how much I care to see Triple H telling talent, I'm gonna give you a push. Like, what? Why does that need to be filmed? Like, if you want to film, like, you know, Jey Uso after winning the World Heavyweight title, or, you know, John Cena after turning heel, getting, like, his thoughts on, like, the interview style, or, like, documentary type style, I would like that. Again, I don't really know how much I care to see Triple H in the fucking writing room talking to Michael Hayes about, you know, how they want to push Braun Breaker as the next guy. Like, I don't know. It's just that's just so. Again, I get kayfabe is dead, man, but that's just a bit overkill to me. There still needs to be a sense of kayfabe, okay?
Kayfabe may be dead, but don't disrespect its grave. You know what I mean? Don't dig up the body, fucking start showing it to people. It is dead, but we'll let the grave be and don't fucking dig it up, because that's what that fucking documentary is trying to. What they're billing it as, like you said, is what they're trying to do. I don't want to see the writers' room. I'm cool with seeing, you know, talent's reaction to things and whatnot, but I don't want to see the fucking writing room process, because I don't want to fucking see what they made, why they came to the fucking Royal Rumble decision that they came to. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really care to see Triple H and Nick Khan talking about how much Yeet shirts sell and how they're gonna put the world title on Jay. You know, I mean, that just complete especially for the kids. I mean, that just completely fucking kills it, man. I mean, you're a kid, you know, you're a big Jey Uso mark, and you're sitting here, you know, you're wearing your Yeet shirts and stuff. You love Jay, you're a big fan, and you watch this fucking show, and they're talking about how they're gonna fucking have Jay win the world title. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, again, if you're a kid, I want to legitimately believe that he beat Gunther, right? Like, I want to believe my hero tapped out the ring general. Like, again, like when I was a kid, I genuinely wanted to believe at SummerSlam that John Cena dead ass soloed the Nexus. I wouldn't want to see some documentary talking about, hey John, we're gonna have you beat all the young Nexus kids today, all right, John? Like what the fuck? Like what is that? Like,
Yeah,
man,
I don't get it.
I don't know, but so it's there next Tuesday. Hopefully it's interesting enough to watch or whatever, but I don't know. We'll see. Um Lyra and Bailey are backstage. Bailey's backstage warming up and Lyra storms up to her. She's very mad and confused. She's asking Bailey why she got them a tag title shot together tonight. Lyra, again, just is very very confused about this whole thing. She tells Bailey, she's focused on the IC title. She says, Bailey, did you forget that I beat you? To get in this match, I need to focus on this. Bailey is very happy. And she tells Lyra, no, I know. It's water under the bridge. It's water under the bridge. I got this shot because we didn't get our shot at Mania. Very, very happy. So, okay, what did you make of this whole thing? And again, man, what did you make of Bailey wanting to team with Lyra out of the blue and um I don't know, maybe actively distracting her from the big match going on?
Most definitely, man. I like it. I like it a lot. I love Bailey's attitude, man. She's kind of, lashing out, man. I think she's uh, pissed, angry at everything and the way it's going. Lyra beat her. She's not facing Becky, and if she's not facing Becky, she's gonna do everything in her power to make sure Lyra fails at facing Becky because she wants to beat Becky, man. And I like it. I kind of like that little, dastardly attitude that she has, man. And I think it's really gonna blow up at SummerSlam. That's a fucking pay per view. And the segment later, I'll tell you why. For the match that they set up. But I think it might be blowing up at SummerSlam.
I would agree with that, man. But first and foremost, I am glad they kept Bailey involved because they could have easily just forgot about her and focused on Lyra and Becky. It would have been a dumbass decision to do. But WWE are no strangers to doing things that make no sense sometimes. I mean, all promotions are not rid of making no sense at the time, or making no sense sometimes. But regardless, I love that they're keeping Bailey involved, and I love how, like you said, it sort of seems like a lash out to me. It sort of seems like Bailey is now, because she's so pissed at Lyra taking her shot away from her. It just seems to me, man, like this is Bailey's way of saying, I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that you do not get the championship because I want to take it from Becky. Um, do you see them turning Bailey heel, or honestly, I thought this, but I don't really know. Do you see Bailey and Becky, forming a little alliance here, or do you see this more of like a Bailey wants to be the one to take it from Becky type of thing?
I could see both scenarios if I'm being honest, man. I could see either, we mentioned it, with the possibility of like Bianca seeing the success that Naomi had and, she's gonna abandon Jade and kind of do a similar thing. The same thing might be kind of going on with Bailey where she sees, the success Becky has upon her return, being egotistical upon herself and doing this and doing that and maybe she wants that and maybe she's gonna do that, or maybe the other side of the character is she doesn't want to do that, but she doesn't want Lyra to just step over her, take all her momentum, and Bailey's just left in the dust. So it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting. No matter what, I think something will happen with Bailey at SummerSlam. I don't know if it's going to be a full heel turn. It could, but maybe it's just maybe she's just. I don't know. I think it's a very interesting character that they could play up to at SummerSlam.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure, man. But it is, it's definitely interesting to think about, man. I could very well see both scenarios. I could definitely see both scenarios unless they go the route of Becky as the heel, Lyra as the babyface, and maybe Bailey as the tweener, just looking to kind of do anything that she can to to get her hands on some championship gold or get revenge on Becky or whatever the case is. Whatever it is, I like it because it just adds more intrigue and more layers onto what has already been the best part about television all fucking summer. So
Exactly.
every summer's got their thing, man. With WWE, usually it's always the most random of things that end up being the best thing of the summer, man. And this year, it was Lyra, Bailey, and Becky. 2 years ago, it was Chad Gable. What the fuck was it last year? Oh, it was Drew and
Oh,
Punk.
yeah, it was true. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Good lord.
hey,
That,
man, and now look at all the acts. At least Gable and Drew.
the
So
best part about the summer, you will not be rewarded.
yeah, legit. It's like it's frowned upon or something. We then get a number one contender tag team match between
Way.
the LWO, the New Day, and American Made. Didn't Adam Pearce tell the War Raiders a couple weeks ago that they were at the top of his list for a tag title number one contendership spot?
Did tell them that, and we haven't seen them since.
All right. Um, Joaquin Wilde rolls up Kofi Kingston for the victory as the fucking LWO are the number one contenders for the Judgment Day.
All right. I mean,
You've
it's a
you've
different team, I guess,
you've got to
but
be kidding me, bro.
I mean, they're fucking losers, so they're not gonna win.
You mean to tell me this is this this is what you have? This is what you
Hmm.
fucking have for the Judgment Day. The fucking
Yep.
LWO.
Oh yeah, man. Goated. Love that group.
What in the world, man? What in the world are we doing? Man, that is interesting. So, dude, this tag division is so dead, bro. This is how bad things have got. The LWO, Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde are the number one contenders for the tag titles in July of 2025. I don't even know why this group is still together. Now they are the number one contenders for the tag team championships. I cannot say any more. These tag team divisions specifically need a fucking draft. We have gotten so
Oh
rinse
yeah.
and repeat to the point where the only fresh thing you have to do is to have the LWO be the number one contenders. That is the freshest matchup you have on the Raw Tag Division. That is how rinse and repeat stale this tag division is. Holy fuck. That is so bad, dude. That is so bad. I mean, it is man, I mean, how the fuck does nobody back there see anything wrong with this? Oh my god, the fall off, bro.
Literally.
That's the crazy part too, bro. The new team getting a title shot is the LWO. That's how that is how rinse and repeat this tag division is. The LWO are considered a fresh matchup. And they are. That's the worst part. They're the freshest matchup this fucking division has to offer.
Fucking LWO.
Oh my goodness. EO. EO is
Yeah.
backstage talking to the Kabuki Warriors. They're all telling each other good luck with the with their chase for their titles. Asuka then tells EO, "Good luck facing your friend Rhea Ripley." EO kind of looked a little weird at her in that moment. She kind of like Asuka and Kyrie walked away, and EO, kind of squinted her eyes a little bit and was looking like, what is that supposed to mean? And then Stephanie walks up. And she tells EO, if you win at SummerSlam, then we get our chance to face each other again at Clash in Paris. EO says, and that's funny because the way I remember it, I had you beat. Stephanie says they do not have to wait for the possibility at Clash in Paris to find out. EO says they can do it tonight. Stephanie says, challenge accepted. So we actually ended up getting the match tonight. Later in the night. So it was decent. Like I said, there was that, I guess sort of jab Asuka took about, Rhea Ripley being her friend, maybe. More planting of the
Yeah.
seeds of EO abandoning damage control, and maybe Asuka was trying to say, you're friends with Rhea now, so good luck, type of thing. Basically, you kind of fucking forgot all about us. So that's interesting, man. That's very interesting. So yeah,
Very, man. Very interesting. Liked it overall. Tensions kind of rising between them, and I'm sure that's going to build to the Oscar match, which very curious to see how we end up getting it. Because I feel like a lot of people are thinking we could get at some point Kabuki Warriors versus EO and Rhea Ripley. I wouldn't be shocked at that. I really wouldn't. People really think they're gonna end up like kind of being a tag team for a little bit, Rhea and EO. So that's something. Um, so they very interested to see who's gonna be walking out of Clash of Champ or not Clash, SummerSlam champ. But good segment nonetheless, man. And Stephanie Becker is goaded.
for sure. Dominic is backstage. Adam Pearce is arguing with Dominic about going to medical. He says Dom is stalling. Dominic says he can't go right now. Judgment Day need his help. He then backs into the janitor, who turns around, and the janitor is AJ Styles. AJ tells Dom, when are you going to head over to medical, Dom? You cleared yet? He says, he tells AJ, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. I got a doctor's note. And he walks away. AJ says, well, maybe by the time I'm done mopping, you better be cleared. He keeps mopping all the way until he gets to the New Day. The New Day are talking about how they need an advantage. Grayson Waller walks up and he says Austin Theory, that goofball, got himself injured. That means A-Town Down Under is finally done. He says that is 200 and something pounds of dead weight off his back. He says he wants to help the New Day and be their ace. He says, you guys can call me Big G. And the New Day seem utterly confused. They're like, yeah, man, we love that for you. And Grayson's like, yeah, guys, come on, let's celebrate. Let me go get the car. Okay. Well, first of all, I know people wanted to see A-Town Down Under broken up for a long time.
Long time.
That, after 2.5, damn near 3 years of teaming together, that is how you break them up?
Off screen. She's like, yep, finally done. Fucking wipes his hands. Good lord, how fucking weak is that?
How uncreative was that? And with the reactions that Austin Theory's been getting, that could have been a decent ass segment on a Monday Night Raw show in the middle of the summer that feels boring as fuck.
Exactly.
Wow. Fucking wow. As for AJ, the AJ shit is hilarious. This part of the show, he's a janitor. But man, that is pretty awful, man. That is pretty fucking awful. As for Austin Theory being injured, have we heard anything? I haven't seen anything. Have you?
I haven't heard anything about injury. A lot of people are speculating maybe his contract's about to come up. Maybe they don't want to keep
Mm,
him. Triple H didn't shows he doesn't really like the guy
I
or
was
doesn't care for him.
Yeah, I was gonna. That would be a massive fail unless they're planning to just repackage him and bring him back doing something else. Um, and maybe
But
they didn't want to waste his time with like a Grayson Waller feud. Maybe they want to bring him back as a heel, so they didn't want to do the Waller turn and like officially turn him babyface because there's no way you were gonna turn Grayson Waller into a babyface. So like, you know, maybe again, maybe they just want to bring him back as a heel type of thing. But either way, that was the breakup. Off screen, Grayson Waller just literally just says, "Yeah, he was dead weight, and I wipe my hands clean of him." How fucking uncreative is that? That's the thing, and that's the thing too. Bringing Austin Theory in as a heel, I mean, he could join the Seth Riders, but I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people want to see the guy as a babyface, bro. I think it's about time, I think it's about time you at least the whole time Triple H has booked him, even majority of the time Vince booked him. The guy was a heel. Give him a little bit of a babyface run, man. All you hear is people talking about how nice of a guy he is and how much he loves, taking pictures with all the fans and just being that guy. Grayson Waller even said in multiple interviews, like, yeah, Austin Theory, he wants to be the next Cena. He wants to be on the level of like a Cody and a Cena in the baby face, pleasing the fans type of guy. You hear it all the time. Let him be a fucking reflection of that on television. You can make a really cool character out of, him being cocky in his younger years. I mean, he's still young, but like now as he's getting older, he wants to be wiser type of thing. You can do some really cool stuff. So again, they could turn him heel, sure, or could keep him heel, put him with the Seth Riders, sure, but like, I don't know, man. I think it's time you let him blossom as a babyface, man. I think a lot of people want to see it. I know I want to see it, and I think it could be really fucking interesting for WWE right now when they don't really have a lot of interesting shit going on, to be honest.
they really don't, man. But I really don't think they'll end up capitalizing on Theory.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. I mean, I could see why you say that, bro. Like you said, Triple H has not really given the impression that he likes the guy all that much.
No.
Becky Lynch. She comes out sporting her Hulk Hogan colors. She's wearing red and yellow. She tells the fans to put some appreciation on her name. She says she should be at the premiere of Happy Gilmore 2, but instead I'm in Houston. I'm sure that's how a lot of you guys feel, the way the Houston crowd is half the time. She says, but that's what leaders do. She said she had the slickest victory ever at Evolution. She put everyone down. She says she can't. She says she can admit it. Unlike Lyra, she says Lyra is greedy for wanting 2 titles. She says with her tag title shot coming up, who needs 2 titles? She says when I did it, when I had 2 belts, it was different because it was groundbreaking. She says Lyra's intentions are selfish, and as the leader of the division, it all ends now. She calls Lyra out. Becky then tells Lyra, your free ride is over. She says to Lyra, I am going to give you the same offer that you offered me. She says, at SummerSlam, if you lose, you can never challenge for the IC title ever again. I don't know if she meant to say, you can't challenge.
Time champ?
Yeah, I don't know if she meant to say, you can't challenge for this as long as I hold it. But whatever it was, I don't know how she meant it, but what she said was, you can never challenge for this title ever again. So I don't know if that was a mess up or what exactly the case was. Maybe they'll clarify it next week. But Lyra grabs the mic. She says her problem is I never take things far enough. She accepts Becky's challenge. She says I actually have an offer of my own. No count out, no disqualifications. There must be a winner. Becky says fine, but before you go, all you've done is disrespect me. And this is the most important match in the IC Championship's history. She says, I will be the bigger person and ask you to shake my hand. Becky shakes her hand. She goes to punch Lyra. Lyra counters it and hits a manhandle slam on Becky Lynch. I could very well see. Bayley comes out after this very happy. She's very happy about what Lyra just did to Becky. I could see, which is the weird part, man, because I do feel Lyra is winning as well. But, does Bayley... WWE, I mean, WWE could go the easy route and just have Bayley help her win and then, maybe have, a respect for Lyra because she stood up to her or whatever. I think that'd be kind of lame. I think that, you might be selling yourself a little short of the story there. So I don't really know how they get around the whole Bayley thing if Lyra does end up winning. Because I feel, with this being no DQ, it would have to mean Bayley would get involved somewhat. It's just a matter of how she gets involved is very interesting to me.
It's very, very interesting because she's got beef kind of with both of them right now. So I'm very curious to see how that match will go. No DQ, obviously, like you said, means Bayley's gonna interfere at some point. I really wonder how she's gonna interfere at this point.
Definitely. So, so now we get the tag title shot between Judgment Day, Bayley, and Lyra. Raquel hit Dom with a big boot on the outside of the ring. It looked absolutely horrible, but she hit Dom with a
Oh,
big
dude,
boot. Oh my god.
she's so bad.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. So she hit Dom with a big boot, and I guess it hurt Dominic enough for him to need medical assistance. So he's getting attended to by the doctor, and doctor number 2 comes in, and it is none other than AJ Styles. AJ's checking on Dominic. You know, I think AEW Medical could learn a thing or two from Mr. Styles. Maybe he should have went there after all. He could have taught him a couple of things about medical. But anyways, AJ, you know, Dom got kicked in the face. And the funniest part out of all this for me, Dom gets kicked in the face. So Dr. Styles comes over there, and what does he do? He sees somebody gets kicked in the face, man. So his first thought is to pump his chest. Look, man,
Put his chest for no reason.
Dr. Jones is quite the professional, man. He's quite the professional. That is
Yes.
exactly what I would think to do if somebody got kicked in the face, man. So AJ, being the great doctor that he is, he's pumping Dominic's chest, and Dominic runs away. AJ is hilarious, bro. He found 3 Indeed jobs in one night. Crazy work.
He really did. Goated.
A lot of these people out here nowadays, man, they can't even find one. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, uh, so as all this is going on, Bailey goes to make the hot tag, and Becky comes out from under the ring and takes out Lyra, throws her up against the steel steps. Bailey goes for the tag, is able to miss it. So Bailey and Roxanne are in the ring for a little bit longer. Raquel blind tags herself in and hits Bailey with a Tejana bomb for the victory. The match flowed very nice. I think all the interferences and stuff flowed very, very perfectly, man. And I mean, the match again, it served its purpose, like I said, with all the interferences with AJ and Dom and Becky and Lyra. And then obviously continuing to tell the story with Bailey and Lyra. You know, it's very they've done a very good job. Like I said, they've done a very good job at this feud in general and keeping all 3 ladies involved. And what they did here tonight was very good, minus Raquel's big boot to Dominic.
Exactly, man. Besides that one big boot, overall, I think they played everything very well. They played, the Dom and AJ stuff very fucking funny and very good. And then Becky came in right at the right time, took Lyra out, and it perfectly ended that match, man. And
Yeah.
I'm very, very intrigued to see, like we said, man, how Bailey, what decision Bailey makes at SummerSlam. I'm very curious. I'm very excited to see.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Sammy is in Gorilla. Jackie asked Sammy, medically, we heard last week that you're out indefinitely. She asked Sammy if he is sure he wants to do this. Sammy says Cross took too much away from me. He says he was supposed to be in the gauntlet match last week, and now he is getting in the way of my goals. He says he is going to deal with this once and for all tonight. We go to commercial, we come back, and it's actually not the Sammy match. It is a Dominic segment. He's running through the back. He's saying, he asks one of the arena security workers, have you seen AJ? Paul Blart, Mall Cop looking at.
Fuck, man.
Dominic is
He's funny. I'll give him that.
absolutely hilarious.
The man is hilarious.
Adam Pearce comes up, purple in the face, yelling at Dominic Mysterio to go to medical and get cleared, or else I will find a new IC champion.
He's finally fed up. They put his foot down.
He was finally fed up. This man was yelling at this dude damn near purple in the face, and Dominic is just looking so scary at this point, and even the Judgment Day, even the Judgment Day are looking like, oh damn, you might have really pissed him off, bro. And then Finn tells Dominic, he asked Dominic if he could bring them back some lollipops from medical.
Hey, back some lollipops.
So, um, so yeah, that was that. So Dominic walks away for his second to last segment for the night. We then get Sami Zayn being defeated by Karrion Kross. Sami
Oh, I
Zayn,
got the worst part.
what's that?
Cross's entrance was during commercial.
That yes, it was. It was. Well, yes. By the time they came back from the Dom segment, by the time they came back from that, or by the time they came back from commercial, I mean, you just hear Cross's entrance music playing, and he's just standing in the ring. Gotta
Hate
love it.
that man, the commercial entrance. The fucking one of the best things about him, his entrance, they just completely ignore. Gotta love it. Gotta love Triple H and his fucking pettiness.
Stupid as hell, bro. Stupid as
Makes
hell.
no sense.
So Sami Zayn hit a exploder on Karrion Kross that looked pretty bad in a bad way. He damn near almost dropped him on his head. While Sammy was going for the haluva kick, he was kind of clutching his ribs, and the referee went over there to check on him. And as he was doing that, Scarlett gave Cross a lead pipe. She then distracted the referee. Sammy ran at Cross for the haluva kick, and Cross hit him with a pipe to the ribs, keeping Sammy down for the 1, 2, 3. And
Very good. Um,
yeah,
mhm.
he won. He won a match.
Look at that, man. He won a match. I was happy. Twitter was not happy. But I don't care. I like Cross. Glad he won.
They weren't
And
happy.
hopefully, oh fuck no, they hated the match. They hate Cross, you know how it goes, man. But I think he's great. I'm glad he won, and most definitely, I like what they did there.
Yeah, I was very happy to see him win something, but like you said, man, Cross wins, but he does not get an entrance, man. He can never have the full piece of the pie. He's always got to have like a half a slice. So yeah, that was that. That was that. Karrion Kross defeats Sami Zayn here. Dominic, uh, AJ and Adam Pearce are waiting for Dominic rather outside of the medical office, the medical room, and a guy comes out with a clipboard and he says, well, and they immediately ask him, how is he? How is he? Is he cleared? And before the guy can get a word out, Dominic attacks AJ Styles. He grabs his championship and says, I'm cleared, and I will see you at SummerSlam.
Very good. Very good. I'm glad it's on SummerSlam.
Yeah, I thought that was a great way to announce it, instead of just having the guy say it to AJ and Pierce himself. They had Dominic running there. They had Dominic run in there and attack AJ after the weeks of torment that AJ Styles has put upon Mr. Dominic Mysterio. So yeah. We got Stephanie versus Io Sky.
Very good. Well, up until got interrupted.
It did. It was another great match that ended the same way that the last one did. So, LOL. Stephanie hit a jumping knee onto Io's face as she was like leaning on the ring apron. Looked pretty brutal. Stephanie then hit a devil's kiss on the ring apron, brought her into the ring, finished out the devil's kiss some more, and Io then went for a over the moonsault, but was met up top by Vacker for an inverted suplex off the top. The Secret Hervis would distract Stephanie Vacker, and Chelsea Green, after they knocked them off the apron, Chelsea Green would come out and attack Stephanie Vacker. And Io would then help Stephanie take them out. Naomi would come from behind and attack Io and push her into Stephanie. Rhea Ripley then comes out for the save, chasing off Naomi as they all hit their finishers on Chelsea Green. Did you see Rhea Ripley's shirt?
No, I didn't.
Bro, I don't know how desperate WWE is to like make a buck in Houston, but the shirt, I'm looking at the shirt because I noticed the Houston Rockets logo on the shirt. And it literally just says on the top. So there's a Rockets logo in the middle of the shirt. On the top, it says Rhea Ripley, and then on the bottom, it just says Houston Rockets. I'm like, what? Like, what? I'm like, what the fuck kind of collab merch is that? Like, what? Are you that desperate to make a buck in Houston? Like, what fucking correlation does Rhea Ripley have with the Houston Rockets? Like, what random ass piece of merch? Because I'm like, obviously I see she's wearing a Rocket shirt, and then you could see on the top of the shirt it just says Rhea Ripley, and I'm like, what kind of lazy ass Houston Rockets Rhea Ripley merch is that? But anyways, other than that, so they all hit their finishers on Chelsea Green. The three baby faces, Stephanie, Io, and the Houston Rockets ambassador, Rhea Ripley. And yeah, that was that segment. Again, the match was great. Ended by Chelsea Green interference, so I guess that just goes to show even more that Stephanie more than likely will be moved to SmackDown. I also don't know why Naomi was like talking to her as if it was like a foregone conclusion that Stephanie is going to be facing the Women's World Champion. So
I don't know. It's all interesting. I feel like they're slowly moving Stephanie over to SmackDown with the Chelsea stuff, but we'll see how it all goes.
Definitely. And then the main event segment of the show, it was not a match, it was a segment this week. It was Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman face to face. Paul Heyman and the Seth Riders come out. Paul Heyman, does his shtick. He says he stands before them with the future of the industry. He says, before Roman comes out, I have a lot I need to get off my chest. And then Roman comes out, so he gets to get nothing off of his chest. Heyman looks at Roman. He says he doesn't want to disrespect him, but the audience is off to a bad start with me tonight. As they keep interrupting him. Heyman says Seth is going to be out for a long time. That means there is leadership open over here on this side. He offers Roman Reigns a spot to lead the Seth Riders. And what would they be then? The Reigns Riders?
The Roman Riders? Something.
The Roman Riders. Okay. He says, you will always be family to me because I love you, my tribal chief. He then throws up the one because Blood still thinks he's a part of the team. And I don't think he is anymore. But you could obviously tell, man, he is just fair. He's a tough guy when Roman's not out there, man. But when Roman is in his face, you could definitely tell he still very much so walks on eggshells around the guy.
Very much so. And I like that detail.
So Roman says, before I get to you, Houston or H-Town, acknowledge me. He says, a few years ago, I would have said those are wise words from a wise man, but you are not a wise man anymore. You're just a dumbass. Braun gets very upset. He says, what are you getting mad for, Junior? He's going to do the same thing to you that he did to me, and he's going to take all the credit for your success, just like he did to me. He says, a lot of people try to take credit for creating the tribal chief. He says, Heyman did not create the tribal chief, and I'm still the tribal chief because they, the fans, still acknowledge me. He says he was the greatest champion to ever step foot in the ring. And Paul had a part in that. He says, but Heyman did not have a part in me keeping the title. The Usos did. Solo did. Hell, even Sammy. Paul Heyman gets very upset by the mention of Sami Zayn. So Roman says, he said something like, I knew that one would piss you off. He says, they are the ones who did. He says, when I lost the title, you tried to say I tucked my tail and went home. He says, but I went home to raise the future Bloodline. He says, see, Paul, you thought the Bloodline was just a faction, just another wrestling group. But we were something that you can't create. The Bloodline was God's work. That was a tough line.
A fast line.
He says, what really bothers me is you were always just a friend, a business partner, but I made you a part of the family. And you threw it all away for your best friend that didn't even talk to you for 10 years. Don't you ever say I ruined the Bloodline, because this dumbass here is the one that ruined the Bloodline. Points at Heyman. Braun grabs the mic. And he says, Roman, look around. We don't want you anymore. You are yesterday's news, the old dog. You were relevant 5 years ago. That was your prime. I would say 3 years ago was his prime, but okay.
Even, he could have said, you lost, all your stock last year or something, but 5 years ago, okay.
2020, I mean, he had an all-time career feud in that year, but prime, I'll go 2022. 2022-2023 was the prime for Roman Reigns for me. Yes, he says that. That was your prime. He says, Paul won't stab me in the back because I hold value and you're worthless. He says, I've been the big dog. Now I'm the top dog. I'm the future. I'm the man around here now. He says, Roman, why don't you just do what you do best and leave? Roman goes to leave, and then he says, honestly, man, I did not hear any of that trash you just said. I don't think your mic's working, but here, take mine. He hands him the mic. Superman punches him as he starts to, as he's attacking Bronson Reed. By this time, Braun gets back up, spears Roman. As they go to Tsunami Roman, Jay comes out for the save as these two hit double spears, and the Seth Riders retreat as Roman Reigns yeets. Now, he did not yeet on the show. It was stuff that WWE posted after the show on their social medias. But yes, Roman Reigns was indeed yeeting in Houston. The segment itself, I did like a lot. I did like a lot of the stuff. I did like a lot of the stuff. I did like, I like the points about, Paul Heyman, choosing his best friend over the family that didn't speak to him for 10 years. And, I liked how he did retract a lot of, the Paul Heyman, created the tribal chief thing and all this stuff. And, I liked, I guess, the explanation for him still being the tribal chief is that now the fans acknowledge him. Um, there's a point you brought up before we went on the air, and I'll leave that for you to say. That is one thing that is just interesting to me. Overall, I mean, for what they're setting up, I thought the segment was fine. I thought the segment was fine personally. Again, just talked a little bit about the Bloodlines history and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was I thought it was fine for what it was. There was just one thing, but what did you think of the segment?
It's okay. It was fine to be honest. I just my big part, like you said, I did like the explanation of why he's still tribal chief. I do like that. And I like seeing Roman, but it's really just like the not taking accountability for the fall of the bloodline and putting
Hmm.
it all on Heyman. And it's just like, it's to me, it's not even like a Roman thing. I genuinely think it's a Triple H thing. He's either too scared or too lazy to write that Roman, is at fault for a lot of that, and he don't know if he wants to or can't write a way around that for him to still, transition from, being sorry and, admitting his actions and his wrongs and being babyface. I don't know if Triple H just can't or he's too scared to write that, but I think Triple H just wants to gloss all over that, which is very annoying.
Yeah, that was that was something to me. It just it just it's just very questionable to me. Like, man, when is Roman ever going to, like you said, just take accountability, or take a little, at least a little bit of accountability for the fall of the bloodline? I mean, it just seems like more Roman finger pointing. It makes me question, like, to what depths of the storyline are we going to have to get to before Roman finally admits, like, maybe him ruling with an iron fist wasn't always the right way to go about things. Instead, he just points the finger at Paul Heyman, calls him a dumbass, and says, this is your fault because, you chose, Punk over me or whatever, which is like, again, I mean, yeah, that's a part of it, but, like, again, you left the guy to get his ass whooped by your family. You technically didn't even really come back for him. You came back for the Ulafala. Like, it to me, like I said, it can just be a bit lazy writing with that whole thing. It's like, I think a lot of the audience wants to see his character go through that change too, because they do love Roman, and they are, obviously the fans are going to be willing to forgive that part of the story and forgive him for that part of the story, and the way he treated his family and all that stuff. It's a great story to tell. And like you said, it seems, at least for now, like they're going to, like, gloss over it. And I don't know why you would leave that on the table, to be honest, man. That was really, like,
I don't.
so again, a lot of the stuff does make sense, but just all the finger pointing, it just makes me think, like, what does Roman have to lose exactly? Because there's been multiple points in the story where you would maybe think he would come back down to reality and reality would set in, but it's just like, it just seems like we're never gonna get there, man, or they're never gonna want to get to that point in the story. And, like, again, what is it gonna take for him to be a little remorseful? It should have happened at War Games last year. He should have apologized to them, and that's what should have got them all on the same page. But WWE decided to wait 3 fucking weeks before the show, before they got the OG bloodline back together, and Roman apologized to nobody. So, it's just very questionable to me. Again, what is it going to take? What's it going to take?
I don't know, man. I wish I knew.
But yeah, man, I mean, that is pretty much that is pretty much a segment. Like I said, I didn't mind certain parts of it. I thought it set up their tag team match decent. I thought it set it up pretty nice for SummerSlam, and just they covered a lot of what they needed to, man. It's just like you said, man, it's just that one thing. It just feels a bit lazy, or something that I definitely do not want them to just gloss over, man. But yeah, man, that is pretty much everything. That is pretty much everything, man, for this week here on NHP Unscripted, man. So that was your episode of Monday Night Raw. That was your episode of SmackDown. And that was your episode of AEW Dynamite, man. So with that being said, that is, like I said, man, that is going to do it for this edition of NHP Unscripted. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today, man. It has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of NHP Unscripted. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 257. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. And with that, again, thank you guys, man. We love you guys, and we will see you all on Friday with the news.
Peace.